Mic test. Alright, let's get started.
Call me king, call me demon. Water forgets the names of the drowned. No rest is for the living.
Wonder what's more cancer. Oh, Annie.
You wanna play?
Oh, Sion.
That'll be fun.
Sion is more cancer.
Noxian swine, the Martian swine, ending ghouls, they'll all end up like Nasty reputation. I mean, huge fan. Time to show 'em who's best.
Minions have spawned.
What am I? Broken stone, broken bones. Victory was soaked in blood.
An enemy has been slain. You have been slain.
You fought to live, sire.
An enemy has been slain.
I miss Kyoto so much, but these artifacts are fascinating.
I'll drink from your sky.
Ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. You have been slain.
Death had its chance.
He was gonna end.
Is that all?
You have been slain.
Fine choice, indubitably.
Bleed.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill.
And Ezreal. Glorious.
Shut down.
This place? Oh, was
I will drench it in their blood.
so unclear.
Fucking stupid, bro. Damn.
Only cowards fear death.
Shut down. Enemy double kill. An enemy has been slain.
Need
An enemy has been slain.
only that blasted road.
To be shattered.
They always said I was cold.
Slain an enemy. Shut down. You have been slain. An enemy has been slain. Double kill. Shut down. An ally has been slain. slain. An enemy has been slain. Shut down. An enemy has been slain. An enemy is unstoppable. An ally has been slain. Double kill.
Break their will and their bones. Your cries disgust me.
An ally has been slain. Enemy dominating. Shut down.
Many battles have I won.
An enemy has been slain. Shut down. An enemy has been slain. Shut down. Double kill.
Our drums will drown out their screams. Bye-bye, lackeys.
An ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy. Shut down. An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. Shut down.
Enemy, I don't care. I hate this waiting.
All manner of marvelous things. Nothing but the finest.
I'll break it in.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Enemy double kill. Shut down.
Cowardice will be met with death.
An enemy has been slain.
Grind you to dust. Is like breathing.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. You have been slain. An enemy has been slain.
You're probably like, oh man, this guy is so fucking annoying, bro.
Blood is the wine of
An enemy has been slain. Double kill. An enemy has been slain. Double kill. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Okay, bro.
Let's level the playing field.
Noxus suffers no cowards.
Shut down. Shut down. Shut down. Shut down. Shut down.
Damn.
Ace.
I'm gonna step down. I'm just going in Cyan, bro. And don't care.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Quiet. Eats at me.
You have been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Forget the faces of the slain.
An enemy has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret. An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. Shut down. An ally has been slain. Aced.
Why did everybody die?
Enemy rampage.
Only cowards fear death.
An enemy has been slain. You have been slain. An enemy has been slain. Shut down. An enemy is unstoppable. Double kill. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. Shut down.
It will do. Break their will and their bones.
You have been slain.
Have I won?
An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Shut down. Enemy double kill. Your turret has been destroyed. Enemy killing spree. Your inhibitor has been destroyed. You have been slain. Shut down.
What toll have I paid?
The enemy's inhibitor respawns. Shut down.
I will ruin you.
Aced. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
From your bones.
Killing spree. Your team has destroyed a turret. An ally has been slain. Rampage. Ace. A summoner has disconnected. Victory!
That's all I have to do, bro. Is just fucking play in Scion. Win the game. I didn't even do anything, bro. I just run it down. But just fucking run it down on Scion. Too easy. Dude, I tanked like 238k damage. Ooh, Varus? Could I play Varus? Nah. Ooh, Teemo. Teemo's nice. Ooh, Alistar. Nah, I don't want Alistar, I want Teemo. Lux. Nice. Good choice.
Now, we wait. Stay there! Shine bright!
Welcome to the Howling Abyss. Minions have spawned.
Mess with the bow and you get the horns.
It's all right if you don't like me. We can't all have good taste.
Hello, person who irrationally wants to kill me. It's so good to throw down! Gotcha! I've done things I'm not proud of.
First love. You have slain an enemy. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. You have been slain. An enemy has been slain. Shut down.
You'd be surprised how quick fur ignites. Stay there! Take the pain. You want Timo? Come and get him! I'm telling Gary!
Say that to my best.
Gotcha! Take a long walk through the jungle.
An ally has been slain.
Shine bright!
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
You want Timo? Come and get him! We'll make them pay for what they did to your family, little guy.
I missed the exciting trip on this track.
Find him! We're in this together!
Yeah.
Reinforcements ain't coming. Banish the shadows! Up, 2, 3, 4! Size is a liability. Take a long walk through the jungle.
Now the fun begins.
You want Timo? Come and get him!
You have slain an enemy. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Killing's all I'm good at.
An ally has been slain.
Patience now. I'm everywhere. Armed and ready.
An ally has been slain.
Smell that? That's fear. Take a long walk through the jungle. Now, we wait. You want Timo? Come and get him! Become one with the jungle. I own this land. My names have always been. Shine bright!
Shut down. Triple kill.
War didn't change me. I changed war. Face toward enemy. Take a long walk through the jungle.
Ally has been slain. Rampage.
Now,
Shut down.
Another mushroom, another victim.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy.
Before I punch out.
Killing spree.
You want Timo? Come and get him! Pieces of fairy tale. Go down!
An ally has been slain.
I'm the last scout standing.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Watch your step. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Shut down.
But I earned quite the beard under here. Got a little pride for him. A part of you never leaves the jungle. Take a long walk through the jungle. Become one with the jungle. They've been looking for yours truly. You want Timo? Come and get him! You're welcome. One day there'll be a reckoning.
Bro, stop hiding, pussy.
Tall folks don't last long around here.
Rampage.
Take a long walk through the jungle.
I'll protect you.
You want Timo? Come and get him!
Enemy rampage. enemy is unstoppable.
Toward enemy.
An ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy. Your turret has been destroyed. Shut down. Shut down. Shut down. Shut down.
Hurts, doesn't it? Void stop. I think this is for the Blitzcrank.
Men die.
Take
I
the bridge.
choose to live. Another mushroom, another victim. Nobody's innocent anymore. Move! Bug out! This'll be messy.
Feathers fly!
Ally has been slain. Enemy double kill. An ally has been slain.
Got a little surprise for him. I've done things I'm not proud of. Take a long walk through the jungle. Huh.
Gotcha!
Enemy killing spree. An ally has been slain. Shut down. You have been slain. An ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy.
The item. The item killed him.
Aced. Double kill. An enemy has been slain.
Reinforcements ain't coming. A 2, 3, 4. Size is a liability.
An enemy has been slain.
Feathers fly!
Zareth is such a
Has been
pussy.
slain. An enemy has been slain.
War didn't
An
change.
ally has been slain.
War. Armed and ready.
An enemy has been slain. Enemy killing spree.
Face toward enemy. I used to live by a code. Survival ain't pretty.
has been slain. Enemy rampage. An enemy has been slain. Shut down.
Another mushroom, another victim.
Shut down.
Anyone else?
Gotcha. More where that came from.
Shut down. Shut down.
Fuck.
We ain't all making it out of here.
Freedom is worth dying for.
Huh. Got a little surprise for him. Pieces of fairy tale.
Enemy has been slain.
I'm the last scout.
Ally has been slain. Ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Shut down.
Can't tell, but I've grown quite the beard under here.
An ally has been slain.
You want Timo? Come and get him! I own this land.
Finish the shadow.
Take a long walk through the jungle.
We're in this together.
Enemy has been slain.
Toward enemy.
An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill. An ally has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed.
Too late.
Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Shine bright.
One day
Shut down.
reckoning.
Shut down.
Banish the shadow.
Triple kill.
Stay there. Shine bright.
Quadra kill. Ace.
Find him. Tall folks don't last long around
Your
here.
team has destroyed a turret.
Ha!
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Got a little surprise for him. Never get attacked.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. An ally has been slain. Unstoppable. Shut down. An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill.
I forget what started the fighting. Swiftly! Watch your step! You want Timo? Come and get him! Another mushroom, another victim.
Banish the shadows.
You don't know about war. I own this land.
Shine bright.
You're welcome.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Enemy killing spree. An ally has been slain. Shut down. Enemy double kill.
Timo.
Enemy triple kill. Aced. You have slain an enemy. Your inhibitor is respawning soon.
I've done things I'm not proud of. Face toward enemy.
We're in this together.
This one's for my helmet brother.
You have slain an enemy. An ally has been slain.
Feathers fly. Shine bright.
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. An enemy is unstoppable. An enemy has been slain.
Oh boy.
Shut down. Aced. Shut down. The enemy's inhibitor is respawning.
Come on, baby.
Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
Avarosa united us.
Very common.
She showed us that freedom was worth dying for.
An enemy has been slain.
Turned on the Watchers. We were stronger than they were.
Shut down.
Size is a liability.
Banish the shadows.
Got a little surprise for him.
Shine bright.
My limbs are always ready.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
Nice try. Finish the shadow.
War didn't change me. I changed war.
Shine bright.
An ally has been slain.
Another mushroom. Another
Shut
victory.
down.
I used to live by a
Shut
code.
down.
Oh, come on, dude.
Survival ain't pretty. I own this land.
Dude, there's like so many fucking super minions.
Watch me before I punch out. Now,
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
face toward enemy. Well, you ain't all making it out of here.
An enemy has been slain. Killing spree. Double kill. Triple kill.
Turns out, I gotta pay attention to your talent. Got a little
Has
surprise.
destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Just end this game, please.
Victory!
Yay. Isn't T1 playing? Hold on a second. Isn't T1 fucking playing? Shh. Yeah, it was T1. Oh, this was live.
Available.
Swiss.
You're not going to need to worry about taking away one of those. Of course, Slater has played.
Then we'll watch the T1 game. Wait, who won though? See the standings. T1 won against Team Liquid, of course. Of course. Fuck.
Yeah, that's really the only takeaway here.
shit.
Because that's going to be
Cloud
locked in,
9?
and then Doran's probably going to play Renekton. And that's it.
Yep. And,
Maybe Jax, you know, if he's feeling spicy.
Yeah, I thought it was
Patty's
Cloud
gonna
9.
probably just lock Nautilus or something, I guess. What are we going to take
I wouldn't
into the
mind
Alistair?
Rel.
Yeah.
What?
Ooh, I like Nico.
Nico.
Yeah, Nico is definitely still a very strong pick here for Kati.
Something that I was expecting to see a little bit earlier on today.
Yeah.
Because, of course, APA and Faker both played in our first game, and they really do love this champion.
It was,
but
yeah, I think it was because they banned Ziggs
they did
and
definitely
Nico.
ban
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
but, that was going to be one of the things that I was ready to look out for. We are going to see it here in the third game of the day, though. And bans now to come through. So Ahri, the only one that I can say is mandatory. But Talia going to come out first.
Not a bad one either.
Yeah.
Talia, Ahri, I think, are definitely ones that we would think of when it comes that Vi Ahri combination, something that Gen.G in general are a slower paced team. I don't think that they're slow by enemies when it comes to making moves around the map, when it comes to like playing macro and getting objectives. But when it comes to kills, they're pretty low key. Unless Peanut and Chovy get like Poppy
Jen's
Ahri,
gonna win.
Vi
Gen.G.
Ahri. That changes things, and I think you want to try and avoid 2v2s like that, especially because with Lee and Nico, they're no slouch, right? The setup is really good for Lee follow-up if you're able to hit a root, and once you get Pop Blossom available, it can become very hard for some picks to do well, but it's going to be LeBlanc instead here.
I mean, there are a lot of things that you do have to ban away.
Yeah, I mean, Azir is like also hasn't been contested yet, but it's easier said than done, right? I don't think that there are wrong answers, but it's just Gen.G with their champion pools are always hard to prep for, particularly in best of one.
Yep, and Renata going to be denied here as Set is just going to be slammed. Of course, Gen.G, no stranger to Set support. Life, of course, on the team for a very long time, is the one that makes the Set support very famous. Still, a flex could be thrown towards that top side if Kiaya would like to get it up there, but
Alistar.
probably going to be in the hands of Palo.
Oh yeah, they have
because
Alistar. Okay.
He actually looked pretty damn good in it in the play-in stages. There's the Ahri. Don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure out that Chovy
Maybe
was angling
Yorick?
towards that one.
And often we see that champions
Maybe
that are highly
Camille?
prioritized in planes, then
Camille would be nice.
Swiss, the priorities really
Oh, okay.
change. The complete and utter lack of Crocodile is really noteworthy, particularly with how much we know that a lot of Korean teams, second of which that we've seen today is Gen.G, love the pick. It's going to be the Cassante Jax matchup, one that we've seen countless times. Nothing too surprising there. Jax obviously in the side lane very strong. Cassante can bear the brunt, and the amount of front line for Paze and the plasma activation coming from his entire team, definitely going to be something that GAM has to look out for.
Yeah, and I'm looking, down the line as far as what Gen.G managed to pick up for themselves. A lot of mid-game fighting, a lot of pick opportunity as well, and also an incredible amount of comfort. Like, if you were to ask me what the most played champions this year, I'd say that, like, these picks are in the top 3, top 4 for all of them. Delight, of course, because Alistar made it into the meta a little bit late, but we saw in the playoffs he was just incredible on that champion. So, bit of a blind pick roster here. However, you look on the side of GAM, and what you need, I think, in order to try and challenge LCK teams, like, the biggest weakness is often if you're going really, really fast in the mid-game. And GAM do have the opportunity to up the tempo in the mid-game and try and form themselves a sort of it's a decent way to aim for it,
Additionally, I do think that the Gen.G composition is very short range, and you do have a lot of champions that kind of prey on that, right? Set loves it when people are trying to jump into him, great counter engage. Xayah is self-explanatory, and then the Nico can also be used defensively. Use the Pop Blossom as a tool when Gen.G jumps on top of you. The problem is, can you execute on that? Because as mentioned, Gen.G generally pretty slow team, very active on objectives, but not necessarily in kills. With a setup like this though, I expect them to try and put a lot more pressure to GAM, and we'll see how well GAM is able to deal with that. Because if you get to a position where your Xayah maybe picks up a couple of kills, anything can happen.
Absolutely. I think mid-jungle is where our eyes are going to be glued for both of these teams, to be perfectly honest. Like, if a Nico gets a large advantage, these Pop Blossoms can be game-ending. So that could be something to play around. But Vi Ahri, I mean, it's pretty synonymous with not only strong mid-game power, but also just Gen G as a whole. It's how they've been able to get a lot of their advantages in the LCK, something that could be quite difficult to come up against here for GAM. But you can see they're still in high spirits here on the desk. And if they can make their mark this early on in the tournament, my goodness, it's going to be some pretty amazing things to take home.
Hey, you know, if DRX can do it,
exactly.
Hey, everything is possible.
Hey man, I'm starting to believe in TL.
Well, after today's game, like, I don't think that's...
You know those headsets? Like you won't hear anything at all. You won't hear the crowd. It's like a noise cancellation.
10-15 minutes is where I expect one of these teams to have broken open a game to a certain extent.
Pure noise
But if
cancellation.
we get to like late game, even though I think like Lee and Nico aren't necessarily the best late game characters, maybe GAM can make something happen. But we got to be honest as well. It's the LCK #1 seed against the play-ins team, so the expectations on Gen G are that they will be able to swiftly dispatch of their opponents.
Yeah, there will be a fair bit of doubt if Gen G's
gonna win.
to lock this one down. But
They're too strong right now.
They are on the rift right now.
Strong team.
Getting into our third game of the day. The LCK first seed up against GAM from the VCS. A tall order here for GAM.
Yeah.
But it was a tall order. It's been a tall order for other teams in the past, and they've been able to come out ahead.
Hey, LCK team in the game.
There we go. Got that pause. This is the in-game pause variety. We did see in our previous game that we had the pick ban pause variety, and we here at the LCK have a bit of a reputation when it comes to pauses, and we wanted to make sure here on the first day of Swiss that we demonstrate what those things that we're known for are.
We have to give, the authentic experience.
No, exactly.
We've actually not been doing a great job because we've mainly been talking about the game and the teams.
I know, it's really
sad. You know, that's not normally what we excel at.
And I actually missed out on a really cool tidbit from the last game that I really wanted to talk about, but I couldn't.
I think we should.
But we can't do it now.
No, you have to save it. But it is a great tidbit. And like you guys, when Atlas inevitably is going to talk about it, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
If you get to cast the team again, which isn't by no means guaranteed.
No. But, you know,
otherwise
if
it's
it
a
does
missed
happen,
opportunity.
I'll be very, very happy about it. And then maybe I'll put out a, you know...
That's not as big.
It's a lesson.
Pretty small.
That's what it is.
I don't even know what they're supposed to be called.
Atlas, I'd like to enjoy the game, the two games that are ahead of us.
Well, speaking of the game, I think we're going to bring up the draft and we can have a look at where some of this power is going to come from these teams. We've already mentioned mid-game power and things like that both teams are going to be angling for. But what's your take? If there is a theoretical GAM victory before us, where does it come from, Chronicler?
I'd mainly be looking at either trying to...
That's my chance to
which
this.
is the riskier of the plays, right?
Now that they paused the game.
Get an early point of pressure towards Peanut and Trophy. Because I do think that the Vi Ari specifically spikes extremely hard at 6. But pre-6, you know, obviously if you land a Charm in the queue, it can have some power, but it doesn't really become nearly as life-threatening and as big of a problem to deal with until that point. Maybe get an early kill until Levi try and put Gen G on the back foot. But then the problem is that has to be in a 2v2 because trying to invade Peanut, as we have seen many a time, just doesn't really do that much. I think Peanut, out of any LCK jungler, by far is the most consistent at absorbing pressure, much in the way that Blabber did last game, right? Just, he's fine, you know, flash down, maybe you give up a camp or two, which in last game didn't even end up happening. And then outside of that, I think the one place where Pays, in particular, delight to a certain extent, but the one criticism that you can levy towards Pays is that his laning phase hasn't always been impeccable. And if we go back to, for example, I want to say it was MSI 2022, Gumayushi and Karya versus the Saigon Buffaloes in the first game of that MSI, they actually got pressured hard, right? So maybe that's the angle. Maybe you try and just force an early all-in, have Levi take a creative pathing, and really put the pressure to Pays in the light, because if you get to mid-game and Pays isn't behind, it's bad. It's not good. It's not good. You have to keep him down.
Well, I have a bit of an update, ladies and gentlemen. We have a slight peripheral issue. I believe it was Levi. If looking at the referees on stage tells us anything, And we got things upside down. BDS fan in the
BDS and K-Corp fan.
There we go. And I had something else that I wanted to talk about as well, and it's gone. It's just gone.
Did it make you forget it?
No.
Oh.
No, it's my brain. My brain, not you. Not on you at all.
Forgot it yourself. You wanna trace back the thoughts?
Yeah, there was something that I don't. Oh yes, it was this. In fact,
Okay.
it was this wide shot. I'm really glad that we get to
Wow, it's a
check
long
in with the
pause
Korean
game.
broadcast when we get this shot.
One of the largest reasons why I am excited to have Worlds in Korea, right? Obviously, it's really cool for us to welcome everyone here.
Look at him
but
sleeping.
it's also as a Chovy, he's
Wonder what the chat's
he's
saying.
rebooting. That's normal.
Yeah,
Faker started it, and everyone is joining in.
All energy is expended on the Rift,
Yes.
not off the Rift. Chronicles.
I mean, using the energy to keep your eyes open
For a
is
second
a
there,
waste.
it looked like he was actually asleep. And I don't think that's the
But
aim.
As I was saying before, I interrupted myself.
Yes.
A habit that both of us find hard to shake.
Yeah.
The fact that Caster Jun is here, everyone gets to listen to him. A living legend it's so nice.
No, it's absolutely fantastic.
It's amazing.
We actually get both. We get both Sunke
Yeah.
and Caster Jun was here earlier on as well. I had a chat to him backstage after the T1 victory, and we were both very worried together for a few moments. So we're just trying to make sure that we can get everything sorted out. I assume it might come down to a turn it off and on again situation, but maybe it's more than that because I'm entirely guessing. As to everything is Delight is trying to let the cameraman know something.
There are very few people that are as aptly named as Delight.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because he's just always having a good time. He's always happy, always looking like he's enjoying himself. And as much as I think a lot of the narrative focus for Gen G this year has been on Pace, which makes sense because of everything surrounding him.
Yep.
Who we followed up on, his experience early on. So we have some Weibo fans in the audience, of course, going to be playing later today against NRG. Delight's journey with Gen G and T1 Academy / Challengers into Brion, where he was a really large part of why the roster was, I think, started the Garner fans last year, and then now to, depending on Carrier's form, what many might call, and at least in summer, the best
Carrier,
support.
Lehens, and Delight, the three best supports, and on any given day, the order could change.
Yeah.
And that is a crazy thing to think of.
Hey, Fleur from Sweden.
Just to see T1, and they saw like a banger T1 versus TL game.
Yeah. Lucky.
I mean, after the result, it's
Yeah,
halfway through, it would have been like, I'm flying back.
A bit rough.
Yeah, but nope, it's all right. Everything worked out, and as it turns out, it all depends on whose Nexus falls down.
I am just glad that we do. I said it before, but this is the LCK experience.
Yeah.
Both in gameplay and in pauses.
And I have found out that it is in fact a mouse issue. We are trading the mouse out and making sure then afterwards that the mouse does in fact work. And so that is what we're battling right now.
Would you rather play with only mouse or only keyboard? If you could find a way to make league movement work with just a keyboard.
Only.
So you have to click every skill. I think it has to be mouse, right?
Yeah, I think it has to be mouse. I think it'd be very difficult to play with only a keyboard unless you're allowed to use a trackpad. In which case,
well, that's just.
I'd go with that.
A trackpad.
Like if you
mouse.
say you've got a
That's so
laptop and you don't have a
stupid.
mouse, you'll have a trackpad.
Most of it is around mouse. A mouse can.
Never. No. Okay.
I
was
click
wondering if that was the
skills,
reason why
click
you play the way you
opponents.
do.
I mean, I
Move the
played
character.
terribly with all of the equipment
Click
that's
abilities.
perfectly set up for me.
It's not the equipment's problem.
It's not
It's
the
exclusively a
equipment.
unit.
However, if you were to take
Mouse.
away said equipment, it'd be an absolute nightmare.
It'd be
So,
worse.
Yeah, we're not. I don't even want to give that any thought because it will really deflate any self-esteem.
Look, we got.
Yeah, that's what I was saying
Green
before.
desk, yeah, but look, there we got Shocks waving as well.
Oh, hi.
Hey,
we've got
Jet.
all of the desks.
Kobe's not waved. I don't know why.
Yeah, there he goes.
Oh, there we go. Hey, we got the whole
guys.
gang.
I assume that they're also up there, just in case this particular pause goes for an extraordinarily long time. But now we're on screen, so we don't actually...
Maybe we're going to talk to them? I don't know.
We could do that.
It's
but
anything's
first,
possible.
I mean, let's just throw it over to them and see what they want to do. How about that? Take it away, Shocks.
Oh, thank you. We were actually trying to talk to you, but I don't think. Hello.
I was hoping they could hear
us.
us.
Yeah. Oh, now you can.
Yeah,
Hello.
now we can.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
So we just wanted to remind you that Cloud9 just beat Europe.
Oh my gosh.
So they
shut
brought
up.
us back.
It's true.
We decided to pause Worlds for a second just so that everyone can just kind of sit in
We gotta
that.
When
gloat
you're
in
up,
it.
you're up. 1-1. Let's go.
Let's go. I mean, Genji can't say
Can
they're
it
up
get any
1-0.
better than 1-1?
Can it? That
For
would
NA,
be,
I'm not sure.
That'd be crazy. Hey, yeah, we do have a little bit of a delay, peripheral issue on stage. League officials are working on a fix. I'd love to get your take maybe on Gen G. We didn't get a lot of time to talk about favorites in this tournament, but when you look at Gen G and the fact that they have been so successful in the LCK, let's set the stage a little bit about it now that you have the first draft that they're choosing to field, Jat.
Yeah, I think Gen G is just a fascinating team because they've won 3 LCK
How many
splits
cute
in a row.
Asian girls, man.
But
So many.
unless you really follow the LCK, you don't think they're very good.
What?
Unless you follow the LCK. No, I'm serious. So listen to this. Like, I've heard so many people talk
We
to
let
me.
him cook. We let him cook.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
I've heard so
What?
many people talk to me about Chovy, who
Okay.
only
Okay.
watch Worlds, and they're like, that guy's not very good.
What?
Oh my god, are you
He's saying what
serious?
people say.
Because literally, if you only watch Worlds and MSI,
Oh, there we go.
he doesn't do that
Okay.
well.
Wow, okay, you heard it. Jat said that about
But
Chovy. Back
he-
to the casters.
He got to play. Yeah, we're done.
This is actually the best point that Jack could ever be cut off in the middle of. 100%. He's actually going to come and invade our desk again just to finish his point in the middle of the game. That's on my bingo card, by the way, now after game one.
We were playing bingo?
Yeah, I don't even want to guess what the point is that he was trying to get to.
Who are you playing against? I'm not playing bingo.
I'm playing with myself. I can always win if it's just me.
What's the point?
Pride?
I,
All right.
No!
Okay, did someone go and talk to
This-
someone about letting Jat finish his point?
this is because of you. This is because it's who plays bingo by themselves.
I don't know. It might just be me. There might be other people as well. But I'm the only one I know of. I don't know that many people, Chronicler. Get off my back. Can we throw it back to Shock so that Jat can finish his point? I think we can.
I don't know. Is it Oh, I would
All right.
actually before
They're going to be with us.
yeah,
we can
okay.
all speak
I want to
together.
share a very fun story about Doran with you guys. It's the Shiv incident. I don't know if you guys know about this. So what happened in the LCK? We had in the first week of summer, we had
Oh,
KT
just play with a
versus
wired
GG,
mouse, man.
which was thrown off. There was
Way better than a
there
wired.
was a
Aiming
bug
built Static Shiv when it was
wasn't
a banned
allowed
item.
to, right?
So it was a banned item, and then they had to remake
Bad
the
boy.
game because he
That-
built
bad
this
boy.
item.
So
Yeah.
that was very
Very naughty.
unfortunate. Then what happened? Because he wanted to build Stormrazor because it was the same path, but then he accidentally built the wrong item. Had to pause the game. It was a whole thing. Then what happened a week later is or a couple of weeks later, Doran actually pauses the game because he's playing Quinn and he built a Shiv and it's not proccing. It's not working.
Yeah, and so he paused it, but as it turned out, he only had a Kerche shard in his inventory.
No
He
way.
hasn't finished this item.
Yeah, and he paused the game for like a minute, and we're like, whoa, what's happened? Has he built a Shiv? Is it illegal? And then we look at the items. He hasn't built anything, as it turns out. Anyway, Jat, about Chovy. I heard
What
he
do
was
you
a
wanna know?
bad player.
Yeah, what's going on? Did he
okay.
also forget to build something?
His level at international tournaments versus his level in the LCK is just wildly different. No?
I mean,
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that he hasn't been able to show the potential that we've seen in the LCK internationally yet.
And I loved the Worlds teaser that we got to see before the show. If you haven't seen it, I'm pretty sure it's going to be up on All Esports YouTube.
It is up.
But he legitimately said, like, I'm not going to be nervous this time. So his potential, Chovy, like, is the best mid laner in the world, potential world champion. But, like, for me, JDG comes in as a big favorite. Yet we see, like, I swear, if we were to break down the last, like, 7 or 8 years of Worlds, there's been so many years where people are like, yeah, LPL's got like 4 of the 5 best teams, man. And then you see Korea win every group. And last year we had a Korea versus Korea final. So I just really want to see Gen G almost like reach their full potential, or Chovy reach his full potential at Worlds, so he can get the recognition that he's garnered from LCK fans.
But is this only in like the key, like the final matchups that they can play, or are you brushing this like all his international performances? Because I feel like it's mostly in recent memory.
Yeah.
In like, you know, whenever they get knocked out.
Well, like MSI, they just didn't even make final.
That's a good point.
So I just wanted to make a counterpoint, but maybe we're in game.
You're the one that's allowed to talk, Chronicler, because we're in the game.
Well, yeah,
so
but
you
I was
can talk.
having a fun time.
They can still hear you. It's okay.
Okay, yeah, but it's not the same, Atlas. I want to hear what their thoughts are.
They can always just come over to the desk, as
I was
Jack
saying,
proved already.
And you were with me on this one because I know you were a fan of this particular lineup. I'd actually argue that when Chovy had the least expectations on him is when he was the best internationally, which was Hanwha Live 2021.
Yep. Let's not think about 2020 DRX, which I always do, and now I'm doing it again. But here we are, into the game. Let's
loving this from Levi.
Yeah, go back again. Levi is just going to be stealing away Peanut's jungle. Peanut is going to know what's going on, but we'll see what's actually going to happen. Peanut's going to miss the Vault Breaker, but it doesn't matter because he's able to walk back, grab himself. Okay, that charm didn't miss on Ducati, who's going to find a Blooming Burst as well, so not too bad. Able to even out the trade.
So I think because of the bot lane situation, Levi didn't run the risk, and he also he wasn't aware of whether or not Peanut have smite. But with red buff, and especially with Peanut missing Q, he wins the 1v1, right? So then it comes down to, do you think that Plat can roam in time? And I think the Light did already have the move, so they didn't want to run the risk as the Light being a nuisance. And unfortunately for Levi, I think the invade, good idea, that doesn't end up actually working out or making a difference. And now Peanut instead is going to double scuttle. It's the same as last game.
Well, Facebreaker is going to come through here. Good headbutt to try and disengage from the fight. But already, Gam showing some aggression here towards the bottom side. You like to see it. And like you were talking about, double scuttle to come through here from Peanut. And Levi walking over Vision as well. It looks like Gam playing through a bit of a power point here, as his bottom lane is in a pretty good spot. Although it is a stacked wave that Paige should be able to get done here, as there is the Hex Splash into the Facebreaker Delight. Just going to pulverize. The Haymaker does come through, but the cow is going to be okay.
And with Levi not actually getting the early invade really working out, as, this is very valuable poke. Doran is stacking a big wave. And Peanut looking for the gank here. Levi's on his way, but I don't think he'll be in time. Look how low the health bar is.
Yeah, Doran already having that chain. That's why it's so much damage to come out. The Q3 is going to connect as Levi just going to walk into the brush. I think Peanut was, I don't know, maybe he was just hoping that he'd be able to get the back off, but doesn't actually happen there. He's going to be able to get himself out of the way. So no dive. And now, Chovy here in this mid lane, looking for a charm opportunity. There are two Nikos, though, and that can make things difficult. Doran just having a heck of a time here.
And Kiaya definitely needs to be careful with the health bar. Has been able to farm really well, though. We see a lot of trading happening towards his top side, so with the jungle buffing of both junglers being a little bit wonky due to the invade, we do see that Peanut heading up there again. I was about to say, is the ultimate!
Right. Yeah, there's the all-out. Level 6 going to get gained here by Doran first, but doesn't find the opportunity, and now Kiaya will be able to get to that level 6 pretty safely under his turret. You would assume. Peanut moving on over. He does not have the ultimate just yet. Vault Breaker going to come through. He's going to connect it this time around, but there is a counter strike, and Peanut tanking the turret. He has to flash to get out of the way, and Kiaya's like, bring it on. We'll see what else you can do, but there it is. First blood comes down, but it's immediately answered.
Doran overestimating his tanking is there, and really good use of Counter-Strike there by Kiaya. Peanut actually using his E-empowered auto attack. That missing damage ends up costing them, and that's a really hefty investment. Might end up being worth it. I'm not sure what the wave state is. If it ends up pushing away from Kiara, Doran can catch it, not miss too much. Might be somewhat worth if you add the first blood to it, but definitely not the cleanest dive there from Gen G, and Gam going to be happy that Kiaya is able to pick up a counter kill as well, and he holds on to his flash.
Yep. Going down the line as well. Things pretty even in the other lanes, but let's have a look at this replay.
As we do see Kiaya using the leap strike, then even with the Q hitting Peanut, I think could have tanked an extra turret shot, really early flash there, but he doesn't want to get caught in the counter strike with the turret on top of him. And then Doran's like, yeah, maybe
it almost was really good.
Yeah,
but
he's not tanky enough.
Does come through. All right, we are going to be able to find the snare, and Peanut gonna go down. Levi collects a second here for Gam in the early game.
And this is exactly what we have been talking about. Want to see Gam try and play as aggressive as possible in this early game. As Doran, again, both these guys just trading perpetually, both sitting on about the same items as well. But getting these type of picks onto Peanuts does take away a lot. I think post 6 is going to change some things. with Chovy and Kati actually both flashing as well. I don't think that was caught on cam. That does mean that the offensive pressure for Chovy specifically definitely going to be somewhat mitigated. Will have access to his ultimate, so definitely still going to be able to apply some pressure, especially once Peanut hits 6. But it's interesting to see that all across the map there is a lot of X, and I think that type of volatility, really what you're looking for is, yeah, Peanut goes in here, they feel like they have an advantage, but crucially, PaZe is behind this play, and you can't just walk past that set.
Yeah, I mean, Chovy was behind the play as well. I mean, it was Gam collapsing way faster.
Pretty well done.
Really like to see it. And Peanut just back to his farming ways here. He is ahead by a couple of camps, but honestly, gold entirely even. Gam's going to be pretty happy with how this game started. Doran be able to find Kiaya here, but E, one heck of a button to press when you're playing Jax.
But remember up, I don't think Gen G can contest this, and they're also not really in a position to try and play for the cross map. Maybe they look to get a kill on the exit here. The light's on his way.
Yeah, Kiaya is an opportunity as the Vault Breaker being charged here for Peanut is going to come on through. Plat going to be fighting Doran. Peanut still just in the fog of war. Doran's going to deliver them. The Haymaker comes on down, and Peanut, he's going to finally start fighting, but he's straight into a Pop Blossom. He manages to pick up the kill onto the Jax, and now it's Delight. It's Chovy, and it's Gen G that are striking back in the battle. It was almost so good for Gam, but Gen G reigns supreme in the end.
Well, Gen G really playing with fire there. As love this.
Kati is going to look for the snap. It doesn't quite get it. Dash just long enough for Doran.
And yeah, that was very narrowly timed around the arrival of Delight. But Gen G definitely cutting some corners there. And Gam also got the Herald. So even though the kills are favorably traded for Gen G, Gam will have the opportunity to maybe try and get some plate gold back. Will equalize the play a little bit. What is big, though, is who were able to pick up the kills. Right, a kill going over to Chovy this early on. Really going to accelerate him in the Ahri. Also, do note PaZe going for the lethality Kai'Sa build, trying to really amp up the aggressive pressure. We've seen the Duskblade and Umbral Spike be very unfun to play into, and Umbral Glaive, obviously, as we've seen countless times, incredibly valuable at controlling early vision.
Yeah, the rush is actually kind of oppressive here from Gen G as PaZe able to clear out any vision that is left in lane. Means that all of the brush control is there all of the time for Gen G. First Infernal going to be taken down here. It looks like Peanut won't be contested for that one as Delight is playing Cow Bouncer. Should be able to get them out of there if they do want to come down. So there it is. Skewer does come through. Hextech going to be our next one. A few different options as far as souls are concerned, but Hextech and Infernal are probably people's favorites as far as the added power. Oh yeah, Levi could be in a little bit of trouble. Pallet is in the area. Slater could come on down, but there's the Vault Breaker to connect onto Levi. Headbutt Pulp does come down, and it's all about picking your poison, choose your target, and Peanut has said, Pallet, you are dead. And that is indeed how it is going to go. Doran also pushing Kiaya away in this top lane. There's Chovy doing a little bit of a drive-by, but that is not the real Nico. In fact, Kati's moving towards that top side of the map. Doran wanting to get towards this plate, but it might be decent bait here for Gam. Not going to overextend, though, as you can see.
And this is where I think a lot of the opponents of Gen G always run into trouble. We're seeing it happen to Gam as well. Off of that skirmish that Gen G, they gave up Herald, but they were able to win the fight. They then are able to path as Doran.
All right, there's the all out. Doesn't get over the wall, though. So Doran is just going to say, here's my R button, and just pay it no mind.
We'll be able to get another turret. Might also die. Does spot Levi here, so he should be playing respectfully. He's Cassante with flash, though, so...
Oh, there's the flash kick to land onto Doran. He gets stunned up as well, and Doran's now trying to escape, but it's not going to happen.
Oh my
Levi
God.
going to lock down that kill, as you were saying.
You knew he was there.
Yeah,
Doran.
he knew.
Oh.
Yeah, it's classic Doran. I mean, I'm not surprised, but I am a little bit disappointed, nonetheless.
I'm not.
Yeah,
You're not?
that was a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, these things have happened before. He was playing to his limits, you know?
Counterplay.
Something like that. As, yeah, Chovy is going to teleport in. Looks for the opportunities. Burnt the ult already. Kiaya out of mana almost entirely, and there's the charm. Kill going to go down, and that is going to be Chovy's second. PaZe here towards his bottom side of the map as well, looking to be aggressive towards Slater. You can see Slater paying him a lot of respect. PaZe doing his best to make sure he denies as much as possible. With this wave, will push towards the Xayah, and Slater should be able to catch the wave in this 1v1.
Yeah, what we are seeing though, and this is, well, Gen G, I think, really only does this as hold up.
Another headbutt pulp is going to come through, and another charm will land. Cardi's going to be able to get that flash off, but there's the cease and desist. Pop Blossom going to come through, but Peanut is going to be tanky enough. He wanted to give the kill to Chovy, but it is not going to happen. Oh, another turret shot, and Chovy will survive. So it's fine.
I love how Delight just sets up a perfect, you know, standing there with his Unbreakable Will, tanks it perfectly. Chovy's rooted on the turret, and Peanut's like, peace out, hombre. Good luck with that one. If you die, you die.
Hey, there was no one else there, you know? And if he died, he was going to die anyway, no matter what Peanut did. So he may as well exit. I think it's fine. 2,000 gold going to be the lead here for Gen G. Nothing really to worry about just yet. However, it is the tempo of the game that is the problem here for GAM, because it is slowly but surely slipping out of their control more and more. Kiaya going to be able to grab a few plates here, though, on this top side. The Jack's absolutely a win condition here for GAM. Kiaya has also been a big power point for this team throughout play-ins as well. So some options to play around, but it's looking more and more dicey.
For GAM, the main thing now is to try and get like one big fight around a dragon, ideally, where you're really able to play off of Kati, where Levi maybe gets himself an early pick, or Plat can try and absorb the engage that inevitably is going to come through. We've seen Gen G playing very aggressive, very dive-heavy, really happy to scrap and skirmishes. Delight does not know that Levi is behind him, but this is an Alistar with Elden Flash, so not the juiciest of targets. And they seem to be looking towards trying to make a play on Pays, but he's playing very respectful with Delight hovering as well, and Chovy making his way over. Isn't really an opening here for GAM.
Yeah. Have a look at the MasterCard lane economy snapshot. Of course, in lane, Chovy does focus on economy. That has been his thing. Glad that we're seeing that represented here pretty accurately. I don't necessarily know whether it tells the story of how this game has been going, but you've seen that Cardi has been first on the roam a few times, which does go back to what Chovy of old used to be like. But what we've seen from Chovy has actually been a vast improvement on supporting the rest of the team around the map and not necessarily having as much of that lane priority, which absolutely is not represented at all in this game thus far. Just a bit sad.
Peanut going to start up the objective here. I do think that GAM, once you start falling too far behind, it becomes really hard to find consistent win conditions. Doran going in again.
Yeah, not going to press the R button just yet. And Chovy looks for the Everfrost. Oh, just barely. The heels of Plat were in trouble there. And Peanut will be able to lock down this Rift Herald, of course. GAM with full information. Levi looking for that opportunity. There's another safeguard kick onto Chovy, but it's an Ari. So he's able to press R, get out a few times, but they do put it on cooldown, and it could give an opportunity for GAM to get themselves their first strike of this game.
Yeah, would have loved to see Plat maybe go for a Plat.
All right. Yeah, Plat is just going to get knocked into the air, and Pei is going to be able to lock that one down. My goodness. The Acathian Rain is terrifying from this Kai'Sa. And they're going to push this Rift Herald through 2 turrets, as it turns out. Kiaya also getting down relatively low towards this top side, but Doran going to find the flash. The oil comes through, and he just chops up the Jax.
And after some early attention from the rest of his team, Doran says, I can take care of it by myself now. And this is really where I think a lot of teams, as we have seen, Gen G's mid-game, particularly when they are not falling behind in any of their lanes, is so oppressive. They're pushing you in mid. They're forcing defensive summoners, take down Plat, turn that into an immediate double charge of the Rift Herald. And yeah, Doran is just off on his own, doing what Doran does.
Yeah.
And actually, I think really nice setup here. Knows that he has the damage available. Goes for the Q.
Can't even fucking counter-strike, man.
Guarantees that he's able to take down Kiaya. And everything kind of starting to fall apart for GAM. It's no surprise, but given how the early game looked, as we can see here, pretty even, it's quickly getting out of control.
The thing that I do want to see is that GAM continue to try and go for these plays, though I don't know whether it necessarily gets better as this game goes on. And so Levi, I think, has had the right idea in a lot of occasions. Chovy in the side lane here towards the bottom lane, looking for this outer turret. Should be able to lock that one down. It's the last one remaining. The map is just wide open at this stage, and it is so scary with the amount of pick potential that Gen G has. I mean, if you walk towards Delight, then there could be so many players that could just nip over a wall and collect you, and the chain CC is terrifying.
We've also gotten to the point in the game where the level 2 for Killer Instinct is available, so
yeah,
every single play that you go for, again, every member on Gen G can set up plasma stacks for pay, so he can join at a moment's notice. Going to have a fat back here as well, able to pick up, was just sitting on a Duskblade for quite a while, or rather a Dirk for quite a while there, able to immediately pick that Duskblade up. And when there is no front line on the enemy team, this build, very impressive. Double TP coming in.
That is a solo lane sandwich here as the charm point blank range is going to connect onto Slater, but he's going to be able to cleanse flash to get himself out. But is it going to be enough? The answer is no, as Peanut comes on through with the cease and desist. And Desire is going to be taken down. Pallets now trying to stay alive. Doran will be able to lock that one down. And meanwhile, Gam is being disintegrated. They do manage to take down Pays, but I think that is going to be the end of the good news for the BCS squad. And Gen G will find all but Cardi in this one.
And Cardi unable to join the play there. I think might have a teleport available at the beginning, but even if you do, by the time that you teleporting in, I think the fight was already lost. And it's the early aggression, or the way that Gen G plays. As mentioned, Chovy going in here, catches Slater immediately, forcing a defensive summoner. And then even if Slater is able to press the start button here, you're not making it out. But due to the Ocean Rift, he actually never sees Peanut come in. Has no opportunity at all. And then Pays actually ends up staying alive for a little bit longer because of Duskblade. Doesn't end up mattering though. Like, it's nice that Kiaya gets a kill. But while all of that is happening, Doran also killed Plat. That was kind of a side story. And the gold lead that was somewhat manageable is now not.
Less manageable.
No, I'd say not. I wouldn't say less. I'm saying it's not manageable. Not manageable, Atlas.
Whoa.
You know me, I'm not one for strong
and
words.
Slater is now not going to get vault broken here by Peanut, but the Featherstorm does have to come through, but he's not going to get caught by the Pop Blossom. No knockup from Delight. What was that?
God
They do
damn.
manage to get yet another kill for Kiaya, but it is once again not the story they were looking for, as he will eventually go down. It's a double for Pays in the end of it all, and this time it'll be the ace for Gen G.
And Baron about to spawn
Game's
in 5
over.
seconds. Gen G took some time to get going, but looking like Gam has been unable to keep this team down. Shouldn't come as a surprise, as the Baron's going to get taken, and I don't think we're going to be in this game for much longer. And unfortunately for Gam, looks like the 0-1 pull is waiting for them.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, with pulverizers like that, like, Delight, man, what an incredible start to his Worlds run, because he was one of the players that didn't necessarily perform as well when we got to MSI. So it's good to see him starting things off with a play like this.
Iconic to see Peanut miss his flash Q, but it doesn't end up mattering at all, right? The amount of CC,
that fucking
damage
CC.
available. Gen G is so
A
far
wombo
ahead of this
combo.
one items that even if they lose 1 or 2 members, you can probably clinch out that fight. But if you do get everyone grouped up, it's rough.
It certainly is. Kaya, certainly hats off for always being the one that's able to at least take something away from Gen G in these fights. But like you say, it's just not looking all that close. The Baron going to be secured here by Gen G. They can grab themselves Soul Point if they would like as well, but I imagine that the base is at the forefront of their mind right now. And our Red Bull Baron power play is not exactly all that healthy at this point, but I have a feeling it's going to grow.
I wonder
not right now though, because Kai is going to get some money.
Yeah, it's a bounty.
Heck yeah.
That's valuable. I wonder how aggressive Gen G is going to play. I think Levi's showing on Vision now, so definitely. And actually, you know, I don't hate the cross map from Gam. It's not like you can fight this team, so you might as well try and hope that they just back off.
Yep, getting
That's
anything is definitely a positive. As Kiaya is going to keep going, and he may as well, but these inhibitor turrets will fall. At least 2 inhibitors will go down. And defending Nexus turrets is certainly going to be a priority, and as you can see, Kiaya agrees. He's going to be heading home now. We'll see whether they can hold on, because Gen G, it looks like they don't want to be here for all that long today, Chronicler. Looking to try and end it as soon as possible. The Vault Breaker going to be channeled here. Picking your target is going to be important, as Peanut is just going to use it in another direction. And yeah, there is a headbutt pulverize onto Cardi, and into the backline goes Pallet. The Haymaker does buy a little bit of time, and the Pop Blossom's decent, but Gen G, the wallets are too heavy at this stage of the game, and they are just going to rip through
Oh, GG.
One to go down. It's a double for Chovy. They'll deal with these Nexus turrets and the Nexus. They'll call it a day. Here, 22 and a half minutes.
And Genji, I think I saw a JDG icon there at the end as they dove into the side, into the fountain, because Genji looking good here today. The fact that with the Swiss format we can have a Genji JDG best of one, provided that JDG beat BDS, of course, our next matchup. That'd be something. Unfortunately for GAM, the same fate for them as many an LCK team.
Yeah, I don't know how much we necessarily learned from this one. This was always going to be a really, really difficult game for GAM, but we certainly learned that Genji still look really good. And as we've been hearing, you know, around Korea at the moment, when you have whispers of scrims and things like that, certainly Genji's still on a little bit of a tear, and with JDG staying with them, makes some sense that they're getting some decent practice in, seeming like it hasn't necessarily been unfruitful thus far. GAM going to be going 0-1. I think the games might get progressively easier from here.
By design, they will.
Yeah.
Because that's how Swiss works.
Yeah.
Korea's going to dominate.
So I just wanted to end with
I
positive
like,
note.
you know I like a positive note. Yeah.
Oh,
For
man.
GAM, as mentioned, I think that the story arc they had from play-ins by itself, you're always going to be happy. I think that for many a team from a minor region is always going to be the goal, right? Make it out, make it to the Swiss stage. The fact that you then end up going against the LCK #1 seed,
Too easy for them, man.
You know, any #1 seed in one of the major regions was always going to be an uphill battle, and as we saw in the gold
beaten.
graph, very straightforward game.
It absolutely was, but as we head to break, let's check out exclusive
The
behind
gangs
the scenes
fucked them
footage of your Worlds
hard.
teaser, brought to you by the Oppo.
지금 월즈 티저 촬영을 왔는데
와
저희 뭐야
월즈 티저
저기 딜라이트 찍고 있고요.
Baker. That was so easy.
Unlock extra loot with the Worlds Event Pass. Every Event Pass purchase will add to the prize pool for Worlds 2023. There's a lot to celebrate at this time of year.
Huh? What? Too easy, bro. Too easy. Too easy. Forget the emote or icon? I'm gonna get the icon and the emote, bro. Yeah, what's up, man? Nothing much. School, work, stream if I can. Watching Worlds. Can't wait, bro. I want T1 to win this Worlds, bro. All the way. Still in Plat, yeah. Still in Plat. I guess. I just want to get the fuck out of Plat, man. I reached Plat 2 with like 80 something LP, I think. Wait, hold on. Let me look at my not my stats, but the graph. Oh, wait. Shit. Fuck. Let me look at my graph. Show you. Like what's been happening like in my games. So cool. I reached Plat 2 and then it's been going like this. 18 LP last week, Plat 2, and then I dropped tremendously to Plat 4. Now I'm like Plat 3. Ridiculous, man. Fucking ridiculous. Do I play Blitz? Yeah, I'll play Blitz.
Fired up and ready to serve.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't care. Oh, I have more support. Oh no. Yeah, Nick. Silver 2. Oh, you play a lot of Malphite. Oh, you have a 67% win rate with Malphite. That's nice. Yeah, he's pretty good. And it's pretty easy to play and master. a good champ. That's good, man. Almost at gold. But just know that, like, hold on a sec. I'm versing a Soraka. Just know that they added Emerald, so like, it's kind of weird. Even though you're silver too, you're considered bronze, and if you're gold, you're considered silver, and if you're plat, you're considered gold. It's like they added Emerald now. That's like the starting point for high elo instead of plat. Basically, plat is like the new gold. So like, yeah, plat is yeah, all right. I don't belong in plat at all because I've been getting like really bad games because of teammates, man. It's the majority of like my losses are just teams, just not cooperating. You know, they tilt themselves and they get frustrated and they don't want to play anymore. The bad negative part about this shit, man. D1 Blitzcrank. Ooh.
The magic calls to me.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn."
Precisely.
First blood. Minions have spawned.
I remain focused. A rolling golem gathers no rust. The magic calls to me.
An ally has been slain.
Precisely.
An enemy has been slain.
What the fuck is going on?
As long as
What the
it
fuck?
takes.
You got this, bro. All you have to do is just, you know, just keep doing you. Just keep doing what you're doing, and keep learning from like mistakes every game, and always keep a cool head. Mute chat. Don't ever use chat, bro. Talk. Just. That's my tip. Take breaks if needed. Piece of shit.
An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Where's Ziggs?
The magic calls to me. Precisely. As long as it takes. I remain focused.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
The magic calls to me.
You got this, man. Oh no.
Precisely.
Brand. Don't do it. Don't do it, bro. You have a bounty. God, man.
As long as it takes.
Shut down.
I told you, don't do it. Oh my god, never listen.
I remain
Never listens, bro.
A rolling golem gathers no rust. The magic calls to me. Precisely.
An enemy has been slain.
God damn it, bro.
As long as it takes.
has been slain.
I remain focused.
An ally has been slain.
Fucking guy, bro.
A rolling golem gathers no rust.
Yo, this Jinx sucks, man. She should have cleansed. Should have cleansed that. That's slow.
The magic
Playing too
calls to
passively.
me.
Be playing aggressively.
An enemy has been slain.
Nice, dude. There you go.
Precisely. As long as it takes.
Fuck down. Silly bitch.
Shut down.
Ugh, need more gold.
A rolling golem gathers no rust.
An ally has been slain.
The magic calls to me.
An ally has been slain.
Precisely.
An ally has been slain.
As long as it takes. I remain focused. You're leaving.
No ult. I have no ult.
A rolling golem gathers no rust.
God damn it, bro. I fucking hate this Soraka.
Shut down.
Fucking hate her. They're probably back. Big fucking ul. Nah.
Turret plating will fall soon. Enemy killing spree. An ally has been slain. Killing spree. You have slain an enemy. Double kill.
Shit.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Fuck, this is bad. This is so bad.
The magic calls to me.
Bet someone was fucking ganking.
Metal is harder than flesh.
Shut down.
As long as it takes. I remain focused.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Nice.
A rolling golem gathers no rust. The magic calls to me.
Enemy rampage.
Precisely.
God hear me. An enemy has been slain.
Nice job, nice job, nice job.
Double kill.
I remain focused.
I'm going back, I'm going back.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
A rolling golem gathers no.
Up other lanes.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret.
The magic calls to me. Precisely. As long as it takes.
Your turret has been destroyed. An enemy has been slain.
You remain focused.
thought the Scarum was gonna fucking flank.
The magic calls to me.
Fucking stupid.
An enemy has been slain.
Fucking dumb.
A rolling golem gathers no
An enemy has been slain.
Your speed is escaping. I remain focused.
Shut down.
Exterminate. Exterminate.
I'm going back.
As long as it takes.
Shut down.
I remain focused.
Shut down.
golem gathers no rust. The magic calls to me.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. Double kill. Your turret has been destroyed.
Nice. Frozen heart.
Precisely. As long as it takes. I remain focused.
Rampage. Double kill. Your turret has been destroyed.
Precisely. As long as it takes.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Metal is
Shut
harder
down.
than flesh.
Oh, looks like I'm staying.
I remain focused.
Shut down.
A rolling golem gathers no rust. The magic calls to me.
An enemy has been slain.
Precisely.
An ally has been slain. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. Your turret has been destroyed. Your team has destroyed a turret.
In the game.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Easy fucking game. Punish these people, bro. Must punish them. Easy fucking game. Easy. Do I honor Kha'Zix? Ooh, thanks for the honors, man. All right, let's watch Worlds. Up.
He's still got it. Petrifying Gaze was good, but we're just a bit rough.
Yeah, Adam there also. Actually, in hindsight, I think going for Knight might have been the right call there. I don't think he ever could have made that play a lot more secure because then you don't have to go as deep. Yeah. Can use your ultimate in a more defensive way. Knight immediately gets the setup.
JDG versus BDS.
Not gonna end up being the case.
I think JDG is gonna no. I think JDG is gonna win.
Towards the bot side, and I expect, yeah, just trying to make the play here towards this turret, take that down before Dragon spawns, and Rula can't do anything.
Yeah. Adam just gonna demolish that one. His Stridebreaker has been completed. Even more ability haste on top of that. He's looking for the Black Cleaver. And look at this man. He's spinning, walking into the enemy jungle like he owns the place.
And because all these plays are working out for BDS, Adam isn't actually falling behind, right? 369 is able to farm his way back in the game, actually has an experience lead. Oh, Ruler does have ult. Is that enough?
Yeah, Stridebreaker is not going to connect, but he is going to be able to get himself out. Does have to expend the Killer Instinct. And JDG, also on the other side of the map, going to collect themselves a Rift Herald. Second one being Shirley. Not exactly as high value
All-Star
as
versus
Sister
Rakan.
Shelly, but still going to be able to try and break open some of these turrets here for JDG. As Crownie in this mid lane will be securing the minions, getting everything sorted out. Still, 2,000 gold lead for BDS is nothing to scoff at whatsoever. They'll be aiming for this Drake that is just spawning 1 second's time. There it is.
And now, this time, JDG actually are the one who have the Herald available. Might want to try and use that to generate prio in mid, force response out from BDS. Nuke obviously has his teleport available, is sitting on a lot of gold though, has been sitting on this just needlessly large rod for a while. It looks like BDS is going to at least give initial control over, and it makes sense. They want to give the time to Nuke, who I think is going to have an item finish. A lot of TP wards available, particularly that control ward there in the jungle.
Yeah, Adam just standing on vision. He's not too worried about it, but there's the Hex Splash. Pulverize, and he's just going to be taken down back to the Drake that they'd started earlier, and now it's a 4 versus 5. BDS just going to have to get out of here. They will have to give that one up, and Adam, unfortunate, didn't have his flash available or anything like that. Just got a little bit too overconfident.
Really big win there for JDG. Able to get, oh, they're going in.
Yeah, looking for missing as their opportunity. He just presses the Unbreakable Will, and he should be all right. 369 on vision, going to try and get over there as well.
No.
Puts a rock down. That is going to be enough to stop this one from meaning
They could have collapsed on them.
BDS
Sandwiched them.
not going to really find an angle there. So back to the drawing board for BDS for now. As JDG, of course, like, this is what we have to talk. We got really excited about this early game and it looked really, really cool and things like that. But I mean, to place a little bit of gravity on the situation, JDG, I don't think there's any team, like so many people have said that team fighting is pretty good, Chronicler. And we're at a stage of the game now where the game becomes about the team fighting aspect of it. So I don't know whether BDS are quite ahead far enough.
Yeah, very straightforward replay. Adam just gets caught, doesn't have his flash, can't walk that far up. And JDG, they do have basically an infinite amount of CC, including Ruler, whose former CC is deaf. So trying to walk up too aggressive, it is. No counterplay to that one. The moment you walk up too far, particularly without flash, you don't really have anything that you can do against that. And I think BDS, their instinct was right, but you do see any mistake you make against JDG and you will get promptly punished. TP is going to get channeled, will be finished. BDS is respecting. With missing there, I do think that's the good call. And you see, this is where I'd expect BDS to really have to overperform, right? Because this is where we get into the JDG competition. Yeah. Yes, they're down a little bit of gold, but in the grand scheme of things, doesn't matter that much. Ruler hasn't been put behind in any noticeable or significant way. And you still have Knight, who's in an awesome spot, sitting on, I think, 5 stacks on the Dark Seal. Might upgrade that, going for a more damage-focused build as well with the Sork Pen boots. And you're going to have to find a way around that duo in Missing and 369 who are going to keep the access to the backline very, very tight-knit.
Yeah. One thing that is definitely going well for BDS is the fact that Crownie is just even with Ruler right now.
He is.
Just having a pretty good time. Those quick blades are going to be coming through in a few moments' time. 369 turning up mid lane, but not going to be able to find Crownie as Knight. All right, will he get the bad news? Flash is available for Adam, and he will not need it because cease and assist does come on down. Lebrov looking for Knight. He's burning, he's ticking. It's not going to be enough, but Sheo's there.
You got smited.
Smite to take down the Ahri. In the meantime, though, the Rift Herald's going to crush this outer turret in mid, and is possibly going to get another charge as well.
So you kill Knight, you'll probably be able to get an inner as well, so I think by the end it will be a net positive. If they can get this turret, it'll be a positive gold trade for BDS. That is 2 flashes, 3 ultimates invested. Give up a lot of mid control. The fact you're able to get that inner though means that in terms of gold, not the end of the world. Sheo going in really aggressively here.
Yeah, really aggressively. He's going to get knocked up. Crownie and Lebrov are going to turn up here. Sheo should be taken down, but can they actually stand a chance in this fight as the Ram is going to pass by Crownie? They will be able to escape. Of course, pretty slippery is good old Rakan, so Lebrov's okay.
Yeah, I do not think Sheo thought that all those people were there, which kind of explains, because he did have reinforcements on the way in, Crownie and Lebrov. That is really rough, because that is now Flash gone on Sheo, but also Crownie's sums and ultimate are gone. I wouldn't be surprised if we see JDG try and put a lot of pressure here. And we do see that Ahri is incredibly slippery here. BDS also not quite able to get the clean CC layering right the silence into the ultimate into
I have to say, the Everfrost again was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, Knight plays that as well, as you could reasonably expect.
Oh, God.
And then Sheo here misjudging how many people, I think, are in his own jungle. They don't have a lot of control. And JDG actually, I think, in the long run, might call worth on that trade. What's important, though, is to what extent is JDG actually going to be able to walk up to any of these objectives? And
what happened here?
Are they going to be able to make use of the fact that BDS is down a couple of summoners?
Well, the win probability powered by AWS is still saying
Arrow Marshall 1, thank you so much for the follow, bro.
Not by a
From
large amount.
Twitch.
I have a feeling that is probably going to continue on a downward trend unless we see something else, unless we see a little bit more of these coordinated plays that BDS have been able to put together. That kill under Knight, that is great. But doing that while JDG are grouped in mid, ready to destroy 2 turrets, that's when things can get a little bit more worrying.
Just the fact, though, that we start off the day, T1, obviously the second seed of the LCK, but still, it's T1. It's T1 at Worlds, right? Like, the org is always going to have insane expectations. Being very, very tightly matched by Team Liquid. And now the 4th seed of the LEC, who had to fight their way and reverse swept
PSG,
in play-ins, is having a performance such as this. It's
should
a
start
wonderful
Baron.
start to the Swiss stage. Regardless of the outcome here, I think this soul point for JDG is
No,
so big.
BDS should start Baron.
BDS, you need to either get a pick or start the Baron about 15 seconds ago.
Yep.
Because now time has passed and JDG is really starting to punish, I think, some of the hesitation from BDS.
Yeah, BDS, I think, struggling to figure out what the next step is going to be. And like you were talking about, this next dragon going to be extraordinarily important, and even the resistances that you gain from the Mountain Drake. But okay, we've got the Baron started. Kanavi is obviously right here.
Are we flipping?
I reckon that sounds like a decent idea.
Don't know
this
about
time Adam is
Adam.
on top of his own wall.
I don't know about Adam.
Instead of the enemy's one. And let's see whether Ruler can keep himself alive, because he is going to face check the brush. There's the silence. He killer instincts to get himself out of the way, and he will survive with the cleanse now down. Adam also has to flash defensively.
I don't know why they didn't fucking go in with them.
Not exactly end of the world from either team. That could have been worse for JDG though.
I think BDS wanted to make sure that JDG would fall for it, but if the rest of BDS isn't ready to follow up the moment that Ruler has the killer instinct out, that play is not worth it. The flash
Oh,
of
Labrov, what are you doing?
And allows him so much more backline access. And yeah, I think if you're JDG, start it up.
Well, immediately it is going to get spotted here. Labrov getting himself towards that backline. As Sheo immediately turned on his
No, what is she doing?
Comes in. The layering of CC is perfect, and Knight says goodbye. Enemy jungler. It's time to take down the Baron. And that is some pretty clean setup here from JDG. Missing
can't
now.
do it.
Just acting as gatekeeper to deny the rest of BDS, and stopping this Baron is going to be a heck of a tall order. 369 taking a bit of damage, but he's just buying space.
I don't know why they fought this. I don't know what they're doing. Why the fuck did they do that? Oh.
Have to get out of there. Petrifying gaze. It's not named quite well enough at this point in time, as now Ruler's looking for a little
Just
bit more.
run. Oh my god.
The knockup is there, and Nuke
What
goes
are they
down as well.
doing?
JDG, they just kill all of them.
Yo, you see what I mean, bro? Like, these silly mistakes. There's too many mistakes BDS is doing.
JDG is so feared, not just domestically, but internationally. You can't make mistakes. Shale here just steps up too far. Thinks there on the Baron, gets caught out by Missing, who's having a great game again on the Alistar. And with the jungler gone, JDG feels extremely comfortable. Crowny isn't even able to get off an ultimate, right? Like, I think he did have it available, not 100% sure with Spectator Client, but just gets 100 to 0. And even if he did have it, there was never any opportunity. It's that layering of CC that JDG have perfected over the year, and it's a 5 for 0, and they get Baron to boot.
They do. They get everything, and it look like the setup. This is the thing. The way that JDG play around this vision, it looks almost like it's just a textbook being read out to you. By the way, this is how you take a Baron, PS. You get a cooldown from the enemy jungler, and you kill them, and then you take Baron. Look at how easy it is.
Baron power play is big. Runa doesn't have his flash available, but
5.6k.
Yeah, without Garen, I don't think you're killing a lot of people here.
Well, Garen is trying to kill a turret. Let's see whether this Demolish is going to help him remove that, and he does do so. Close to a 6,000 typical Baron power play until that turret goes down, which, like you say, is at least going to be a bounty. But trading a bounty for your Nexus is never really something that we would recommend. And now the win expectancy has gone from a little bit in favor to BDS to 90%, close to almost touching the bottom in favor of JDG.
And BDS fought valiantly, might be trying to go for one more play here. 369 isn't here right now.
Yeah, there is the cease and desist. Silence is down onto Kanavi, but he just turns it immediately. The Jarvan gonna be the first one to go down. Sheo trying to get himself out there. Labrov is gonna be the sacrifice, and Nuke's gonna go down as well. And now Ruler kind of taking matters into his own hands alongside Knight, who collects a triple kill, tidying up the fight.
And you get Kanavi, but at what cost? At cost of your Nexus, Atlas. JDG,
what are they doing? Just fucking
gonna
get
push
them.
on here.
There you
With
go.
a draft like this, you're given some leeway. And man,
yeah, I knew
they
it.
use it.
Well, I tell you what, BDS, they at least made it interesting, especially in the early stages of that game.
Bad, bro.
You know, there's that
Oh my
moment,
god.
the gods can bleed, that
Too many mistakes.
They're not bleeding as far as their score line here in the tournament, but they at least did in the early game of this one. JDG's team.
There's too many mistakes BDS did there.
I think you're gonna need a
Too
lot
many.
more gold ahead in order to be in a good spot there.
Just isn't enough. We see, and this is the biggest difference I think that we see here. BDS, there's a couple of moments of hesitation, right?
Yeah.
There is around the Baron when they started up, but only after the Dragon is already taken. There's a couple of mistakes left and right from Shea, who I think still played a great game. A lot of what it made the team look great was his early game on the Vi, but you can't afford any mistakes against this team. One misstep, one moment of hesitation, one misstep, right? Getting caught out by Missing. Those are the type of stuff. Even, you know, Adam and the gang being able to get Knight.
Oh,
but
so
it's
bad.
such a hefty cost that it's not even really going to be worth it. The cross map is already set up before you've made the play.
And what it feels like when you're playing into the best teams of all time, right, is that default state of the game is enemy team is winning.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it is. Like, as the game goes on, it just naturally trends towards that team taking it, and it kind of felt like it here with JDG. I think the early game, kudos to BDS.
Yeah,
also,
absolutely.
the draft, just do what you love, do what you're good at, and hope that it's going to be okay. And as you can see,
Man,
from the
so
goal difference
bad.
over time, it was good for a bit.
I also think Ruler's the first one that's made Stormrazor Kai'Sa look like it does stuff. Because
I didn't really want to mention it.
Yeah, we haven't seen Stormrazor Ginsus do a whole lot, but in that game, it was great. Well done.
Whew. Man, that was
a good game.
That was one heck of a game 4, and honestly,
Hello.
didn't have
Exactly
a
at
lot of
5 o'clock, bro.
BDS though, I think any other team that's going to lose in this round needs to certainly give a little bit of respect to that one. But now it is time, I believe, to throw it to a short break, and then we will have the remaining half of the day immediately afterwards. Don't go anywhere.
You too. This is a good match, man. Oh my god, bro. There's so many good matches today. There's so many. So many good matches.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Damn, the graphics. It's like Fortnite.
Don't need no time, watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. You on my mind a lot. Don't need no time, watch. I don't know how I got you in my mind a lot.
하루만 더 그렇게 하는 듯 무의미해 다음 룹 그분이 안 가듯 그가 원하잖아 dream my dream more can't play
Zoomer music exposed. Zoomer music.
It's you in my eye. You just lie but satisfy 알고 있잖아. It's you in my eye. We fly high like butterfly 날개처럼. Really 신경 쓰지 않아도 you. 도망치지 마 우린 어쩜 같은 사건. 이제 난 믿어 천천히 허물어져. 너와 내가 아니면 다 뭐든 버려. Oh, welcome to the wall. Yeah. Oh, 눈치 못 챌 사이에. Oh, 따라와 if you want it. Oh wait.
Mind a lot. Don't need no time, watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. You on my mind a lot. Don't need no time, watch. I don't know how I got you in my mind a lot.
How can I so why can I 그렇게 하는 듯
Cornerstone? What is this? Cornerstone. Cornerstone.
It's you in my eye. You just lie but satisfy 알고 있잖아. It's you in my eye. We fly high.
Mastermind.
Really 신경 쓰지 않아도 you. 도망치지 마 우린 어쩜 같은 사건. 이제 난 믿어 천천히 허물어져. 너와 내가 아니면 다 뭐든 버려. Oh, welcome to the wall. Yeah. Oh, 눈치 못 챌 사이에. Oh, 따라와 if you want it. Oh wait. Alright, we feel alive, so check it on your mirror. See the lights, so 중요한 like a silver. Alright, we feel alive, so check 이렇게 I'm your mirror. All the things you are. 내 숨겨본 미래 익숙해 나와는 눈빛을 마주치네. That's what about us. That's what about us.
But it's a cornerstone. An important quality or feature on which a particular thing depends on or is based. Forms the base.
Welcome back, everyone, to Worlds. We're halfway through the day. 4 best of ones already, 4 still to come, and the first one of those is G2 Esports Up versus D plus Kia. And of course, we got Chronicler straight from the cast on the desk because we need you.
Yeah,
right.
Actually, I'm very pleasantly surprised. I think you know the Genji game was maybe not the best, but all the other games were actually really.
Oh, I like his spin.
Very close affairs. I was impressed by BDS.
Been having fun.
Yeah, Team Liquid looked pretty good. Lost.
Really good.
C9 looked really good.
One.
Even I think BDS was pretty competitive in that last game, but this big one I think is really gonna tell the story of how EU's first gate goes at Worlds, because it's a matchup that if G2 is for real, they're definitely looking to win.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to intro it. And in terms of kind of the relationship between these two teams also,
G2 versus
Kobe,
DK.
it's shaping up to be quite a rivalry internationally, specifically at Worlds, where for G2 it was really only 2019 where they got the upper hand, and after that it went array.
They started out throwing the first punch, then Damwon got really angry and kept on punching back. And this is actually one of my favorite of all time international rivalries. We actually don't get that many where we get to see them meet up in consecutive years, but the peak of Showmaker and Canyon being able to come back and absolutely destroy was just so fun to watch. And that's what I really want for D+, to be able to see them get back to that point, because they're two legendary players. And as for G2, of course, everybody in Europe was, this is the team for Europe with all of the results, getting to finals, you know. They really, really want to be able to retake control of this rivalry.
It's a great point, and I think, Jat, that was a masterful setup as well, because we can skirt around it a little bit and go like, you know, it's hard, it's the LCK 14, but if you want to say you have a genuine shot, this is a game you have to win. And I think when we look at how G2, as you already put, went about this season, it was fantastic for them. Of course, big changes. Yike in the jungle instead of Jankos. A different approach after MSI, which was very disappointing for them, Jat. But the question is, can they do anything right now against
that looks like the Oakley
logo,
logo, bro.
Screen, the answer would be yeah.
D plus K.
Because they were absolutely dominant in the LEC, but then it
looks
just
like the
calls into
fucking
question
Oakley.
what you think the overall strength of the region is, and how G2 was able to improve shadowboxing themselves, because they were dominating everyone they played against in the LCK. Or sorry, LEC. But I've also heard that they have been very competitive in all of their scrims and are very confident coming into this game.
And they basically did have a really big goal after MSI. I think we hear this from many teams when they come back from an international tournament and didn't have the result they wanted. Yeah. But they wanted to have a lot in their wheelhouse. They wanted to not just go off early leads.
Is that the
they wanted to make
logo?
sure that Yike, who they have been growing as this jungler, could approach a lot more. But this is a hard matchup for Yike.
Yeah, I mean, Yike is an incredibly exciting rookie here, you know, coming from Europe with the success that he's had. The Belvest speciality with is an extremely powerful champion right now. He's going against my personal
they changed the
jungle
logo.
GOAT of all time, even if this wasn't the best year for Canyon, and he did have some int games as well as some POG games.
Yeah, it's really, so I was, first of all, very impressed by Yike and his individual performance. Even though G2's MSI wasn't too great, I thought he was.
It looks like the Oakley logo, man.
For Canyon, if you didn't watch a lot of LCK, he was almost near the standing of POC points. I forgot what he ended up with. He was like 1-200 behind. So one or two games where he didn't get enough done. But in the games where he wasn't, he was actively the reason where, as a G2 with their usual swag.
I think
looking great here.
It's connected to their, their K-pop band release situation. That's why they're swagging it out, probably.
And they have to.
I like
I
this
do agree. D+, every single time at Worlds, I think the team. Last year was a great example. They overperform, right? We know that these players are good enough, Deft, Showmaker, and Canyon in particular. But if you look at their form in both playoffs and throughout the year, in a best of one in particular, I find it really hard to know which form of the team you're going to get.
Yeah, I'm especially kind of heart-wrenching moment when you listen to Showmaker's interviews.
Oh, don't remind me.
And he's talking about how, you know, League of Legends is much more a job, not as fun for him anymore. Sometimes he gets nervous now when he goes against big-name players in the mid lane, and these sorts of things, especially when you're going against Caps and Caps' current form, where he has had a huge change, and that's been one of the biggest things that you're talking about, changing from MSI and the lane dominance that he has come up against.
Yeah.
The mid lane matchup is also incredibly important.
But I feel like we have a bit of a question mark if we are going to see an uptick, because a lot of the things that we desired from D+Keo, I think in the Gauntlet, for instance, we saw glimpses of that, and the question is that page now turned?
Yeah, and that's, I think, what we're going to find out in this first game as well, because we will have very early an idea, because if they fall behind, I don't think D+ in their current form are really a team that is going to be able to do the Gen G thing and come back, or what JDG did just now, right? They need to be ahead early, so I'm expecting so much explosiveness, and we'll get an answer very early on as to what form they're in.
And Canyon can be that jungler again. He has it in him to be the best jungler in the world. I have a clip from regionals that they had a lot of success in. I just want to focus purely on Canyon
here
in
we
this
go.
moment and kind
The
of
old clip.
fanboy. He is so good at controlling the jungle, and he is on Rel. He played a whole bunch of tank junglers this season, like so many other junglers, but he's going to do, because he has a pushing bottom lane here, he's starting topside as well, and then they made a recent change where a lot of the gold went into these small raptors, and with Rel you can EQ to steal all of the small raptors away, and then he uses his pushing bottom lane come up to ensure that he also counter jungles the red away from Grizzly. But what's really cool is how he covers the possible responses, because he jumps over the back of the wall, waits around for the Scuttle Crab, and then he goes and he burns mid lane mana to make sure that Showmaker and the bottom lane will be able to defend the counter from his opponents and defend his blue buff, because he's working off the assumption that Grizzly has nowhere else to go except the bottom side of the map, and so he's able, by just burning the mana of Zeka there for his gank in the mid lane, ensure that he has bottom lane plus mid lane to protect that side of his jungle. And then as long as you go back and you take out the top side as well, there are no camps for your opponent to get back into the game on, and it allows Canyon to here get a reset and then get the first dragon for them as well. And that, even though there's no kills there, he did so much to control the state of the game purely through jungle, and yes, a very nice tool of pushing bottom lane.
And then in other games, he walks in as Diana and dies twice, right? And
Exactly.
And we won't know. What I do want to very shortly touch upon is that Kalen, to me, is going to be the big difference maker. I think
Everybody is
Kalen's
a bowl
development
cut, man.
and the fact that DK has prioritized him as the main support is big. He was, to me, the biggest
These
change
Koreans
in
always have a
consistency
bowl
for the
cut.
team. And particularly against G2,
The MVP.
with how with how good Mickey has been playing. If Kalen doesn't uphold that level, then I don't even know.
I wish like these Koreans like
there are a lot
branch
of
out
questions
of
you do
their
mention, and
hairstyle,
of course,
bro.
Mickey was crowned as the MVP, of course.
'Cause they all look fucking the
for
same,
the whole year
man.
that was in the LEC, which is a big
Not to
thing
be,
in terms
like,
of his
kind of
resurgence
racist,
also in
but, like, they
career.
all look
He's
the
also not
same.
been at Worlds for a long time. He's really looking forward to that.
Except
There are
Faker.
so many questions, but I'm going to find out what the fans predicted. Maybe that helps us guide us through it in our MasterCard fan predictions. And of course, every day you can head over to @MasterCardGG on X to cast your vote. But they went for G2 with 60% and D+Keo with 40. You know, we know that the G2 fans are very loud on X, chat.
They absolutely are, and I am still fascinated by this matchup. I mean, we talk about Showmaker not having confidence this year and how when he was at his best, he was the best mid laner of the world in 2020. And we also look at someone like Caps, who the story, if he was able to win Worlds this year, would be so unbelievably amazing, because he was a World Finalist 2018, World Finalist 2019, and advanced from groups in 2020, but
strong.
it's been 3 years now since he's been able to make any level of noise at Worlds, and I do feel like G2 is better this year than they have been since 2020, which gives them the biggest chance. And the fact that they're just up against this team of like former world champions in D+. Deft won it last year, but their form is so questionable. Like we've been talking about it this entire time, there are just more unknowns in this game to me than there are in any other matchup. So I like that this prediction is 60-40, but that's pretty close to 50-50.
close, yeah.
And I understand why, because this G2 team has so many of the things that made fans fall in love initially with the success of G2, which is the attitude behind it. They have the flexibility of champion pool as well. Everybody remembers the Pyke days, but now you're getting the Lissandra counter into the Rakan from Mickey. You're getting all types of stuff from Broken Blade in the top lane, pulling out the top lane Swain and everything. They have the creativity, they have the swagger to back up being by far the best team in Europe.
And let me pose a simple question then. Jat said it already, you have to dare to call yourself a favorite in this matchup if you are a G2 supporter. But what does it come down to? If we see a Showmaker and Canyon with great synergy again, I don't want to say of old 2020, but on a very good level, does that immediately kind of dispel that notion? And does that make D plus Kia then immediately a favorite, or how does that work?
I think with best of ones, it's going to be hard to tell, but I would say if you're trying to measure the peak of either team, I would say peak D+ would beat peak G2, but that is literally not how League of Legends works. It's about what form you have on the day and what happens, and in that case, I would actually give a slight edge to G2.
All right, let's see what happens and head over to our casters for this really exciting matchup.
Thank you very much, guys. It is an absolute pleasure to be here alongside a legend of the European seed. We had to start properly. If we're introducing the first seed, we may as well introduce Vedius, myself as Sterix, part of the LPL, but you're more important.
It's an honor to finally have you here at the World Championship.
It's my honor.
My friend. No, it really is. We've enjoyed your commentary for the LPL for a while now. You're going to start with a bit of EU versus LCK.
Which is great.
And it's a bit of an interesting rivalry. The desk has already broken it down so much. We've seen these two organizations fight throughout the years. In recent history, it has been D+. That has been the victors. But as a European, I'm feeling confident about what this G2 roster is bringing to the World Championship.
I think you should. Again, you know, I've kind of coined this as like my favorite team in EU simply because they play a little bit more like the LPL style, right? They're versatile, they're bloody, they're crazy. You never know what to expect and like what lane to look out for in G2.
It's very true. Like in terms of draft, I'm very excited to see what they will be bringing out. But we're going to get introduced to the teams as they make their way onto the stage.
I mean, again, you're looking forward to seeing the debut of these two teams at Worlds so far. G2 first out. This is a team with high expectations, very high expectations, and to renew what was done to them last year.
Look at that, they look like they're in a baseball team.
Joining the roster in the place of Jankos, kind of the GOAT jungler of Europe. A lot of weight was in kind of put on his shoulders, but so far he has lived up to those expectations and he is delivering. The return to many staples. Broken Blade doesn't have the best international record. Caps definitely does. Back-to-back World Finals in 2018 and 2019. Hans Summer, the last time we saw him at the World Championship on Rogue, he was an absolute monster on things like the Misfortune. And Mickey, our MVP, our standout player of the year, the player that even managed to make some top 25 lists.
A lot of them. I think people were kind of crazy for not putting him in at that point where Western players are usually left out. So again, high praises for G2, but the first seed of Europe is now going up against Korea's very own Dam1 Kia, or D+ Kia, excuse me, to correct myself. And straight away,
man, this is gonna be a fucking battle, bro.
Last year's Worlds, I'm not sure that the weight of that goes down any bit.
What an exciting opportunity. They did struggle throughout summer season, but as we got to the gauntlet, it really did feel like this team found their form, and we've been hearing scrim rumors for both of these organizations that they're looking good, they're in form. We've been hearing interviews from D+, rather. It's going to take us a while. Saying that they have found their form, they're finding their synergy, and now we're going to get to see it here. Best of one between G2 Esports and D+ Kia.
And a quick transition note there as well, you know, throughout the season, we've seen Bible a little bit coming through when they needed a stronger voice. Seeing Kellen back in the role as well with the hands, and especially when you're alongside someone like Deft, it makes a lot of sense. That world champion from last year on the DRX roster, old reliable, I think, to be said, for D+ Kia, that they can look towards with the experience at a world championship like this.
Oh my God, here we go.
Oh, it's an exciting one.
Oh boy,
we are kicking off
here we
our
go.
casting debut with an absolute banger. I'm curious as to what the draft is going to show us, because you already mentioned it earlier. G2 are the chefs of Europe. They love to cook up some crazy stuff. Top lane in particular, we saw some Swain, we saw some Kled. We've seen some Lissandra support out from Mickey to answer things like the Rakan. They've kind of wanted to build this level of, we want to be able to play any style and answer any style. Let's see what D+ have been cooking behind the scenes, because these teams, I know for a fact, have not scrimmed each other at all. They are coming into this tournament completely blind as we get ready for draft.
Thank you, finally. Let's cook another one up here. G2 and D+. As we jump on in, I'm more curious about some of those picks. You also enabled the topside conversation, Vedius, which has to be things like the Yone too, I want to throw in from someone like Broken Blade. Blue side for G2, D+ on red, and straight away the Caitlyn versus Def. That's respect.
That certainly is. Nico also going to be taken away from Caps. You have to imagine things like the Orianna and the Talia will make their way onto the ban table relatively soon. Jarvan going to be taken away from Canyon, so some of that early game playmaking going to be denied from him. The Kalista respect towards Hans Sama. When you think of Hans Sama, two champions that always come to mind, Draven and Kalista.
I want to see if the other one gets banned away. With the Nico off the side as well, something that we have seen in fruition so far in the World Championship. Will another jungler follow suit? A lot of Kai'Sa first picks have come through. The Xayah Rakan still on the table as well. Vedius, anything else you want to note that feels like it needs to be priority here for G2, as Lee Sin's also taken away?
I think Orianna, if it's up and available, they're just going to grab it for themselves.
Okay.
The question is, do D+ feel like it's a big enough threat? Do they think that they have an answer to it? And it seems like that they do. G2, will they prioritize this Orianna? Will they give Caps one of the best mid laners on the current patch?
I feel like on the other side, Showmaker, who started ramping up a bit towards regionals, is no fly to that champion either. Vedius, you hit the nail on the head. Looks like that first pick going to be looked over in response of giving away maybe a stronger bot lane to Deft and Keller.
Well, bear in mind that the Talia is still open. We know that Canyon is very versatile when it comes to the jungle, but he's also someone that loves to invade, loves to power farm, someone that will often find ways to have scaling impact. But no, they're just going to answer with a high priority on the Alistar. We did see this a lot over in the LCK. They love their Alistar, but you got to be mindful because G2 Kog'Maw Braum, something that they love to pick into things like Alistar, gives them lots of range, a lot of scaling power, and something that they don't even have to prioritize right now. They may very well... oh no, they're going Draven!
Yes. You said it, there's 280 carries that you need to respect against Hans Sama, and one of them's left open, and G2 enter Worlds, so let's watch.
So at MSI, Gen.G did the same thing, and Gen.G made fun of them on the Draven. So Deft into Hans Sama's Draven is going to be an exciting on the Maokai. An EU standard, something that we've loved to play throughout the season finals and summer. Going to be in the hands of Yikes, something he's been playing a huge amount of. So no stranger there.
I want to develop into how Yikes been as a player as we get into game, especially with a pick like this to open things up. On the other side though, do D+ go for jungle, or is it about cementing Def in the bottom side before Def gets banned out?
So Varus is a champion that has pretty good range, can play at distance when playing up against a Draven, but also ties in with the composition that they have with pretty solid poke and range, right? As Xayah and Varus playing around these neutral objectives can be very difficult to close the gap on. And I think G2 is going to be looking at something like a potential... Well, I wonder what direction they'll go, whether they want something like a Leon or if they want a hard, super aggressive bot lane 2 versus 2. Maybe Rakan for a little bit more team fight prowess if they're worried about how many engage options they have.
Would something like Braum be okay here, Vedius? Because remember, again, you've talked about it in different contexts, but with a lot of engage options on the side, a lot of lockdown already I see from D+, I feel like some exemplified support options might be the choice.
It depends if G2 feel that Maokai is enough by himself to start the fights. Bear in mind, depending on what direction they go in top lane, you can already see the Jax being banned away from D+. Thinking about what direction that D+ could be thinking, Renekton is of course still up and available. We know that Kana does love to play a number of carries, but when we look back at when he was making his way through the regional gauntlet, it was mainly Renekton, Cassante, and Jax that we saw from him in the top lane. With Cassante taken off the board and Jax, will they look to remove the Renekton as well? Or perhaps they're looking to leave that open so they can have a relatively safe line?
It's a great question. Again, Broken Blade could punish it as the Pyke against Vicky.
That's what I'm saying, man. The cooking. Like, there's so many random picks that you've always got to be aware
That's what
of.
makes it so hard to ban against him. You have to go in so many different directions at once, and that's why I was getting excited casting G2 coming into today, because again, I feel like they're my little LPL team over in Europe, as Rumble's also taken away, which has also been a strong pick rising up in the meta here.
So I wonder if G2 is kind of encouraging D+ to go for that Renekton pick. They're kind of saying, you know what, maybe you should go for this champion with Rumble taken off the board. There's not that many things that have that can be a good answer into it, but of course they have the Kled, they have They're ready for champions like that. And I think D+ is doing the smart thing. You just lock in your jungle, get something that can give you a little bit of engage. Rel, someone that we haven't seen a huge amount in the jungle so far in this tournament, but still very prevalent, very strong. I think is an easy way for D+ to have good engage and follow up when combined with the Alistar.
But it also means we've got top last pick here on red side, so Vetty is setting up Canna a little bit to deal with what G2 have to say. Now all cards are going to come onto the table. What does Broken Blade play?
That's a big question. Will it just be the Renekton? Will they play it safe? Brings into question then, will this be a Braum or will this be something that G2 want to go for a little bit more engage? I'm looking at the Rakan as an option, Renata as well. Very powerful lane, and they're going to lock it in.
All right, so the 2v2 strengthened up. We're already looking inquisitively down towards Hans Summer on the Draven, but now it's for that R5.
Top lane.
What happens up in the top side? We know solo queue, there's been a lot of Quinn going around, but here at Worlds, haven't seen it so far. Other explosive matchups we've been looking to see, like the GP. I'm theory crafting here, Vettis. I'm trying to throw some things out, but it could be simple.
That's what it's looking like. Of course, we know that Connor is a very experienced Jace player throughout his history. It's been something that he's very happy to go back on. And you look at the composition from D+, range, poke, being obnoxious. It fits very nicely into their composition. G2 is very much about the bot side of the map. Don't be surprised to see G2 do a full clear bot side into early level 3 play from Yike. It was something we saw a lot from them during the regular season. You imagine that they're just going to leave Broken Blade largely on an island. Wouldn't be surprised to see D+ actually invest a couple ganks up towards the top side. But maybe Canyon's priority will be making sure the bot gets through laning phase largely unharmed. Because you look at the scaling, you look at the range that they have. G2, outside of Maokai, they don't really have the easiest engage tools unless Renekton can find a flank, which means that as long as they can get first onto the objective, force G2 to come into them, they have a lot of tools and options to just kind of chip away at G2's health bars and then go for the big fight afterwards.
So my further follow-up question is, if it's all chill from there, if they do get through the lanes, then are we just looking towards the later the game goes as well, the poke being unmatchable, unbeatable?
I do feel like that unless G2 can find big team fights. You look at their straight 5v5, they have a lot of damage. Renata can be so impactful in terms of space control. Maokai the same. Orianna Shockwave, you know how her scaling works so well. And Varus, with very limited mobility, if Renekton can get onto that backline, it can be chaos for him to actually play the game.
Very true.
So it ultimately comes down to the space that they all control, the pre-fight expectations. How much damage can D+ get with their poke composition? Will G2 be able to find a quick engage where they can gain access onto the backline? It's an exciting one.
Oh, yeah.
G2 versus D+. We're finally getting onto the Rift Hysterics. Are you excited?
Oh, my God. What a question that is. Of course I am.
Crazy.
G2 versus D+. It's first versus fourth, and in the past, people would discount Europe. They'd say, oh no, it's against Korea. It's going to be too hard to ask for. But this team means business. As we talked about, they're trying to rectify the mistakes of the past and show what EU has to offer as their best team, and Vettius, may I say, their best team handedly. Watching back against Fnatic, this team is legendary.
Oh yeah, I mean, when we look at the entire year, spring is where they kind of dropped the ball. They had a bit of a meta crisis. Caps in a bit of, this is all about the mind games. He sidesteps it. Deft, mentally broken. Obviously, just looking for a bit of poke there. Showmaker able to get a bit of damage down. Running the Halo Blades on the Azir, so looking to go for some of those early quick trades. Looking across some of the other summoner spells, looking to see if there's anything too crazy from either side. Press the attack on the Renekton as opposed to the typical Conqueror. Once again, for those short trades. But overall, nothing too crazy. And you can see the comment on Def suggesting that he is going towards the poke. But early information gained from G2. As don't be surprised to see this early push. And we talked about early clear from Yike. Something that he's often done on the Maokai is look for that full clear in bot into then an early gank. G2 as a bot lane 2v2 will also try and early shove in this wave so they can get a very early bounce back to then put that extra pressure on. Whether or not they'll choose to do that in this game, we're yet to see. Yike, though, already level 2 looking for a gank bot.
You're on the nose, but he's straight away walking in. But there is a defensive ward from D+ in their river, so Canyon sees it coming. He's tried to redirect, but again, a ward from G2 to spot the same, and Canyon's already just forced off.
I mean, Hans Summer and Mickey already have level 2. They can use their pressure to offer some assistance. Yike actually stealing away the Gromp at level 2. Really leveraging the power of this level 2. Hans Summer can just keep them underneath their tower.
Wow.
Already getting a bit of chip damage. Caps not getting the best trades in the mid lane as Showmaker leverages that hail of blades.
And again, he's walking up for it too, at least getting the phase rush to get out of there, but Caps now at 1/4 of his HP.
So, Yike is able to steal away a camp. So a small advantage game for him. Will now move over towards the rafters. This will slow down Canyon just a little bit as Broken Blade looks to get a bit of a push in top. But the most important thing for G2 here is Yike has made it very difficult for Canyon to actually play around the bot side of the map. By already forcing him off his Gromp and knowing that he's going to be pathing towards the top side of the map, G2 have created a map state that they want, where all of the pressure is being thrown towards Broken Blade, and he can act as this weak side, while Hansummer and Mickey can leverage their 2v2 strength to continue to gain advantage.
I love the stories we set up, you know, talking about G2 in their regular season, moving into playoffs, and moving into that final, of course, where the aggression you see by this team and the versatility in their playstyle is shown on the Rift in each and every game. Already there with a handshake bot, you can see Hansummer continuing to push in, a CS lead building up, Deft and Kellen stuck under the turret, and a plate in under 3 minutes is kind of insanity.
Both mid laners are going to invest an early TP, get back to base, spend some of their money. Amptone picked up for Showmaker, along with the Dark Seal for Caps. But that pressure bot lane is unrelenting from Hansummer and Mickey so far. The early Scuttle Crab picked up for Yike means that Canyon will likely path towards bot. Will get spotted out, and that's going to be an annoying thing for D+ to deal with those saplings as the game progresses. This is why I talk about D+ trying to get on those objectives first as well, because when you're trying to face check into all of these saplings, when you're trying to get onto the objective, the amount of zone control they have, you're trying to walk through a choke point against a Maokai and a Renata, it's going to be very difficult for D+ if they are late to those objectives.
And if you don't pay the respect, then you get punished, right? Orianna, Renekton on top. I feel like there's a lot of tools, as you're talking about in draft, where even when it gets to the 5v5s, G2 can play that versatility again to repeat the point. Canyon at least getting the reverse scuttle on the bottom side after getting spot out on top. But apart from that, CS rather even as we go for first back through jungle. And just kind of optimize to see how bot will be played out and if there's anything that D+ can do to mitigate that loss so far.
Broken Blade really needs to grab this wave. Typically you'd be looking at a potential dive here, but Canyon already going back to base, not quite level 4 yet. He's a little bit behind. Broken Blade trying to do what he can to catch, but this is not an easy matchup for him.
Cannon's run out of mana a bit there. Broken Blade can get a bit of retribution holding out for now, but that's another CS lead to talk about up in the top side. So it is balanced out across the map. No gold lead to speak of here at 5 minutes, but as we go back to clearing, it's still important to know that Cannon's not the best top laner we talked about from the LCK, right? He's not the big outstart, a standout, I should say. I feel like Broken Blade is, though. On the other side in EU, Broken Blade has been widely aggressive. Fun to watch, to say that again. And, you know, Cannon showing up here to start off their Swiss tournament.
Yeah, and
it's pretty big.
It's funny that you talk about that because in this game, like, they've pretty much just left him to the wolves.
Yeah.
They've said, you know what, you do your best.
Sorry, bud.
But we know that you're going to get counterpicked. Our whole goal in draft is to play towards the bot side of the map, and Deft is no stranger to having pressure thrown on towards him. But we'll see how well he weathers the storm. So far, his farm has been spectacular. He's doing a great job, even though there is constant abuse underneath this tower. Alistair in the early levels, especially against a Renata, is not an easy lane for them to play, but credit to them. Deft and Kellen having a fantastic laning phase for the time being. And overall, nothing too crazy. So the gold remains even. We're 6 minutes in, and we're going to be looking at those potential early dragons, early heralds. Like, this could be a good opportunity for G2 to go for that early dragon, and just as I say, they can start that one off.
So we're handshaking, right? We're expecting D+ to be hitting up Herald soon, Vedius, because I feel like, you know, with topside pressure that we've seen with a good lane, it seems like that just seems to be the deal, right?
Well, something you're likely going to see is a back soon from Hansummer and Mickey, and then they'll likely send Mickey up to the contest, or they may even send Hansummer up if they really want to make sure they get that
Hang on,
Herald.
flash away from Caps. Canyon not even needed. Showmaker just pops the ulti, and that's something that's gone.
Showmaker looking for a play in mid. You heard the desk talking about how it's been kind of sad to see the trajectory of Showmaker this year, how he's been kind of struggling, but I've only heard positive things for him coming into this tournament, and you can see that level of confidence. Looking for a play, working with this jungler to find an opportunity, getting that flash out of Caps, especially with the Herald looming in the near future. Definitely going to give D+ an opportunity and a player to look at for a potential pick.
Emperor's Divide, though, we'll mention, with that being down, Vedius not the shortest cooldown in the game. So with that ulti not being up, Shockwave in comparison for Caps as Yike versus Canyon. Just going to beef up a little bit for the Scuttle Crab. Yike has smite, so does Canyon, zoning him away. Good handshake, waiting for it. No, it's stolen.
Oh, wow.
And a nice little trade, Canyon getting the better of him. And in fact, with that, CS lead as well in jungle that's come out of nowhere after that early game.
Nicely done there by Canyon. Very close to level 6. Should be able to get that after securing the Gromp. The problem for Yike is he spent a lot of time just hovering bot, making sure that either, well, looking for a gank or even just making sure that they can get that wave underneath the tower, which gave Canyon a huge opportunity to really do another full clear, catch up in experience. And Broken Blade also doing pretty well upside in the top side of the map. Herald now is alive. We can see that Draven's still pathing towards the bot side of the map. And it's Renata that you now need to keep your eyes on. We already saw Kellen looking for a bit of something as he moved towards mid and then contested that bot side scuttle. He's now in the bot lane 2v2, so Mickey's going to answer for the time. Flash!
Hang on, Broken Blade! You're insane!
God damn.
Flash burnt from both in the end. The ignites down, Caps comes up and threatens topside. Now the Herald swing. Let's just throw it back.
Very well played from Broken Blade. I was not expecting that, and I feel like Kana wasn't either. Notice as well that Broken Blade recognized that he could get out of that. I think it was just about getting those flash trades to set up for a potential play later. He E'd in, but then the second that the stun finished, he E'd back out again. You know, he didn't commit too much, and he just traded summoner spells, trying to make the laning phase that bit easier as Han Summer now looks for a trade.
It's good onto Kellen, but once again, no cigar here for the finish up. But Herald, we started off the back of that, so Yike here on his Maokai, that mind you is flawless, of course, at the moment in 2023. 8-0, by the way, fun stat for you. Is pretty hot as Mickey setting up on a depth instant cleanse away, but will save his life, ignites down. Couple of autos too, Kellen with the flash away as well. And G2's bottom lane matches it.
Wow!
Oh my god!
Oh my.
This team's pretty hot.
What?
Han Summer's
Oh my god, the power spike.
And MSI, Gen.G left this champion up in their first game. And they made fun of Han Summer. They said they didn't care. And Han Summer has been furious about that ever since. He returns to the international stage and he finds a 2v2 kill.
Holy
First
shit.
blood to Han Summer.
And it's a big cash in as well. Look at the CS numbers there. Surely that item's coming on board as that's huge for G2. We talked about the win condition being bottom in the early game videos.
Draven.
It's online.
It's also just such a huge confidence play.
Okay.
Look at this, initiated by Mickey, forcing Deft back out of the fight.
Look at that power spike on Draven.
Create space.
Dude,
but Han Summer, he knows that with the number of stacks he has, that execute damage is more than enough. He has a level advantage. Flash auto ult, and they find themselves first blood. I wasn't keeping track. Did you see how much gold he got off the back of that shutdown?
I did not. I was too excited by the flash forward.
Unfortunately, I missed it, but that gold is going to propel him. Now Kana, no
100.
flash.
Well, he's in a bit of trouble too.
150.
G2 looking to replicate across the map. Just waiting as here we go. The Ents go marching one by one, and Yike says hurrah! With Broken Blade on top as well, that's stun out.
Dead.
There's no flash from the trade before. Cannon's like, just make it stop. And G2 with another with a 2-0 start.
He does get himself another plate. He realizes if I'm going down, I may as well get a bit of gold to compensate. This will give an opportunity. Are they going to use the Herald top? Don't see why not. Typically, you'd expect them to keep funneling that gold towards Han Summer, but instead they're saying, you know what? Let's just actually give more damage to Broken Blade. Already in the bot lane 2v2, he was able to get that cash in. You were struggling earlier, Broken Blade. You forced that flash out from him. And now look at this. The early game gold is ballooning in favor of G2. 2K is the advantage they now find themselves with.
It's huge. Top, bot, both winning out. CS lead there. Top is reciprocated with Broken Blade earlier on. Remember, we're talking about Kana having a lot of influence up there, doing well in the lane. No longer with 4 plates taken up topside. So really good to see that in their debut, G2 is replicating what they did in their domestic league, Vedius, up here against the LCK 4th seed.
They need to keep it up, though. We've seen a North American team and an LEC team get an early lead against these good teams and then not quite be able to convert it. And while you would expect G2 to be better at some of the lower seeded teams at being able to convert that, you've always got to keep that trepidation, you know? Especially a team like D+, you can't underestimate players like Canyon, like Showmaker, at being able to find those plays. They've done it so many times at international events, and this is the duo that so many are excited to see return. So let's see. We get closer to the 14-minute mark. The second dragon of the game is available. Showmaker does have pressure in mid, moving into the bot river, and Canyon has snuck his way into the enemy jungle.
No top laner TPs available. We've got Caps and Showmaker if anything happens to return to the scene of crime as Canyon's behind enemy
I
lines.
need G2
No
to
vision
win,
there,
bro.
wondering where he is. This crash
I
down
need them to
come
win
through,
Swiss.
And Mickey's unaware, but
Come on.
back in time. Never mind. Canyon waits it out, and Han Summer goes back for his Trinity Force.
Canyon showing great respect, and Caps on the roam here.
Wow. Most agile Oriana we've ever seen. Canna, his flash is back up and available, but he gets stunned up, not going to use it. He knows he's dead as Caps picks up his first kill, and G2 continuing to hold that top side.
Caps holding onto the shockwave in the event that Canna did flash.
Saplings are a problem, man.
Yike now getting engaged on.
It's just a crash down, though. The Bramble Smash slows things down as Yike's okay, but look at top. First turret blood in under 14 minutes.
Wow.
Not what I was expecting to happen. The TP as well for Caps can bring him back to mid so he can still catch this wave. D+, though, know they have a window to start off this Dragon. Caps hasn't had an opportunity to base, doesn't have his Mythic. Do G2 still want to fight this? Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. With the ulti from Yike, it's there, but the Magnet Storm and the boot back! Showmaker, playmaker! All you blinkers out there, stand down. It's a double over to death.
You can't underestimate the man in the jungle. Canyon finds a fantastic engage. G2, they tried to set up the play from the bot side of the map with a collapse coming from the mid lane. Canyon sees that opportunity, knows they have numbers advantage just by attacking the pincer, and they make it look clean. We're going to get a quick replay of this top one. An overall simple play. Kana chooses not to flash. The kill goes in favor of Caps. But look at this engage now. Again, look at the mini-map.
Yeah.
Mickey and Caps are coming from the top side. Flash engage, the follow-up from Kellen. Draven doesn't get to move. The follow from Showmaker 2. Just clean execution there from the four-man of D+.
And Deft, who was down in lane, who got cashed in earlier on, or rather Kellen did, now has gold, now has the Duskblade as well. And all of a sudden, DK's bottom lane, bet is quite relevant again. As we look at the Mascard lane economy snapshot, it is looking good for G2 and gold, but the problem is with that one play, DK are now a threat again.
I mean, the gap didn't seem as big as it was, that's for sure.
That is true.
But you're now looking at like, okay, G2 recognize that D+ is still a team you can't afford to underestimate. The momentum was in your favor. And G2 do have a tendency, the way they lose domestically is they get cocky, you know? When they get that big lead, they sit there, they take risks. Sometimes they'll skip steps, and sometimes they need that reality check, and D+ just gave it to them.
So it's a good thing what just happened.
Well, from G2's perspective, yeah, but it's also a good thing from D+'s perspective.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins. Okay, I'll take that in mind as first items are coming across the board. At the very least, for DK, getting some gold on Deft I mentioned before. Talked about that first item, getting into transition as well, as he was quite behind. So see what G2 do now as they set themselves up on the second Herald of the game.
They'll likely use this to try and unlock mid lane. It can be quite difficult to siege against champions like Varus and Azir with the amount of wave clear and poke that they have at their disposal.
True.
But using this Herald, it gives you so much more agency to just break down that tower, especially with slightly shorter range AD carries with champions like the Draven, for example. They've now moved both mid laners down towards bot. Showmaker continues to have that pressure. Love how he's using the Hail of Blades to constantly trade onto Caps and then use that initial trade to then help clear out that wave and gain pressure. Kellen covering for his top side of the map, knowing that Herald just dropped. There's a potential risk there of Kana being in danger, but also covering in the event that Broken Blade oversteps.
I think smart map movements, we all know from the LCK historically, are still existent in the 4th seed here. As a quick note, Dragons up in 2 minutes, but right now, it seems like DK are covering their bases with some vision. Bot side, that's going to be cleared out by Mickey, who is once again moving as a 3-man unit, while DK are not willing to step up and get caught by this hard engage.
So G2 now bringing Broken Blade down into mid. They have numbers advantage, which makes it easier for them to siege onto this objective. You can see Caps joining the fray as well. Showmaker going to go back to base, has the TP.
All Chains of Corruption lands. Han Summer out with the cleanse. Arrow not going to hit. That's a good Renata ulti though under the turret, but it won't translate. Caps setting up for the potential shockwave as they just walk away and the Herald won't open up the map.
Love the response from D+. I think they did all the right things. They hold on to the tower. They don't really give Han Summer an opportunity to hit onto it. That ultimate from Def was exactly that, a zoning ultimate to try and force Han Summer away. It connects, forces a big summoner spell out from him, and they keep that tower alive while Kana also gets the opportunity to push in that top wave. And you can see that CS discrepancy from earlier starting to build once again. So even though he is finding himself at 0 and 2, he's still not that irrelevant when it comes, he's still relevant when it comes to the gold.
Go, yeah. I mean, considering that kind of had a bit of an early CS lead, I guess that 20 does translate in some regard. I want to also point out that, you know, you talked about Chains of Corruption before. That is, that's pretty much back up. I mean, this is the cooldown reduction, or rather ability haste, for those new age people who aren't 40 years old anymore. How long ago was ability haste, or rather cooldown reduction?
I'm too old to remember.
Those are the good old days, though, right?
We start talking about the good old days, we'll start talking about Garen again. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be careful.
We have done full circle, though,
exactly.
to be fair. I'm
That's
just waiting
true.
for an LPL team to pull it out, because that will happen. Actually, the Shy's playing later.
That's true. He is. You think he's one of those players?
I think he could be. He's definitely a Quinn player.
I was going to say, doesn't he want to play into the Garen?
Oh, yeah, he does.
Kana
this
now.
one, though. You're right.
Does he know?
He does not. Ward down. Broken Blade going to try, but finish the job this time. Flash is available. Ulti with the Dominus. Broken Blade 2. Not going to pull any triggers, but again, showcasing his strength in the 1v1.
Yeah, just a quick trade there from Broken Blade. Nothing too crazy. The Dragon now spawning in 5 seconds. Broken Blade has TP along with Kana. Small level advantage for Broken Blade, but you imagine Kana should be able to make that one up relatively soon. G2 with fantastic vision control around it. You can see control wards littered around the bottom sides. It should be very difficult for DK to force their way in, and we talked about D Plus being first on the objective. There are now all the saplings in position that are going to be extra bit of poke coming out from the AP Maokai. And you know what? D Plus is just saying, we're fine, you can have this. We already took one Drake for you. We've slowed down the Dragon stacking. And we don't need to fight Draven right now. Trinity Force, Collector, no, we're good.
No
we're
way.
fine.
Not touching that with a 5-foot pole. Han Summer as well, just waiting for that next cash in. Remember, he did die once, but still built up a lot of gold. 202 stacks, you can see. Thanks to our little screen there. I love it. Unfortunately, LPL, I don't get that, Vedius. I don't get the Draven stacks. I have to guess. I have to wait till Observer gets there. Showmaker again, threatening it. But Caps holds onto the flash. That's a big brain move as teleport going in. G2 want to die this, and with Yike ulting in, Showmaker has nowhere to go. Broken Blade forces his flash, gets booped away, but there you go. Adoration for the crowd again. One more to hit the boot as Han Summer's already cashed in, but he's looking for more money. Trying to roll the dice as Mickey X tries to get them out of there. Berserk for the time being. Running back in, G2 want to re-engage.
It's chaotic, but it's going in G2's favor. They'll find another kill, make it 2.
Yeah.
4 down on the side of D+. Deft is continuing to push in mid lane, but it started with Showmaker looking for that play onto Caps. He doesn't get Caps to flash. They played that game of chicken, and I was a bit question mark paying the TP from Broken, but he was in the river, and he was sitting there, and he wanted, like, no, I got to get here for Caps. I got to make sure I can offer that assistance. And you'll see this initial play from Showmaker. He has Cannon waiting in the wings. Caps doesn't flash. Then the TP comes through, but the rest of G2 are there to very quickly follow.
I love the patience here, Vedius, as well, right? Like, again, G2 forcing everything in that out, then launching on top. And Han Summer didn't cash in just once in that play. Cashed in twice. Draven with 3 items out of this replay, I feel like is the reality that DK are going to have to go against.
It looked like a good response from DK initially, but then the moment Broken Blade flashes in and Han Summer picks up another kill. What is that, 3 now for Han Summer? 3, 1-1. The BF sword completed. G2 is looking strong. 5K is the gold lead all of a sudden. And again, question marks came into G2. How are they going to look coming into the World Championship? What form will they show us? Well, they're continuing their season playoffs form. They're continuing that level of dominance and aggression. Zero hesitation play style, and huge props to Broken Blade. Kind of the unsung hero, getting that flash from top lane, the way he's responding on the map. Great stuff from him in his debut game here at Worlds.
It's looking like a dub. I mean, win probability powered by AWS before, showing that G2 might have this in the bag. Now, of course, you're saying they've got to get it to the finish line, but massive gold lead now to 5Ks. The flash ball from Kellen doesn't work out. Re-engaged by Yike. The Ents are out, and here's Broken Blade for the stun down. That might be a tanky Alistar, but out of the farmyard he goes. He becomes a patty again. Han Summer runs forward, gets more money in the bank. This guy's interest rate is huge.
You need to invest in Han Summer stocks right now because they are going up. G2 see this as an opportunity to start the Baron, but it's also a great opportunity for D+. Here we go, the Baron is kicked off.
Well, no ulti from Deft as they're stoned out by the Whirling Death over the wall. Kana can't do too much, and it all comes down to
Are they going to flip this?
You gotta be careful because he's going to go in.
G2. You're saying please no, but in goes Canyon looking for it. The all-in. Oh my God! They've set up DK to smack him down.
Oh no!
They get the Baron. Vedius said
I fucking knew it, dude.
Oh, yes. Yike running for his life. He's next to go down.
God damn, bro. Fucking idiots.
A triple kill
Why?
for Kana.
Oh, no.
With another fantastic engage. G2 throw that 5k lead away.
Oh, no.
And now D+ have themselves a Baron. Oh, no, Caps. He may have just thrown his life away. Can he get to safety?
Current still stands. He'll be okay for the time being, but Vedius, I shouldn't have said anything.
I saw it coming, man. I told you. I told you.
I thought I was safe because I'm not from EU. I could say those things, but I guess we're looking before the Baron, before it all went wrong.
It's, as the LCK casters would call it, the unique Europe Baron strategy. They get this initial pick onto Kellen, and they think with numbers advantage, they should be able to convert this into a fight, which is what they do.
They try to be patient,
they
saw
engage.
her.
Canyon
They placed a ward. I know it obscures vision because of the pink ward, but they
three of them, Canyon,
saw a glimpse of Rel right there.
Just tear G2
I don't know why.
with Hansama dead. He's where all the gold is right now.
Oh my god, man.
And it's a clean team fight win. It's a
Dude.
Baron secure for D+. And now they're the ones knock it on towards the base of G2.
Let us begin the Red Bull Baron power play with a poke comp. Vedius, you set this up in draft. This comp has range. And what do we know about poke comps in League of Legends? When they have Baron, when they have priority and longer lanes, it is a nightmare to play against.
I mean, they're going to have to find ways to get good flanks. They're going to rely on these objectives to find good fights. They want to contest the Ocean Dragon. Here we are. D+ will start this one off. Broken Blade has gained access into the river. Yike has the ultimate available.
All right, as it starts off, it's real slow here is G2 awaiting on Hansama to get in position. He's got both summoners available, I believe, at Cleanse almost up, however. As G2 are getting poked out, this is brutal. It's now Deft and Kana who are just so painful to deal with at the moment. Dragon gonna reset, at least give them a bit more time, but time is so good for DK.
Look at Canyon finding a flank once again.
Oh no.
Looking to zone him out. There's the poke again. Hits three. He jumps in. Canyon flush for that. Won't get the steal and won't get over the wall. A bit of an oopsie as Yike's ult sets them away.
Canyon definitely fails his engage there.
Yeah.
Puts G2 in a position to secure the Ocean Soul. And they've also been able to waste a lot of time. The Baron's gonna disappear. But ultimately, it's brought D+ back into this game very comfortably. 2 items, 3 items being completed across the board.
Oh, G2.
I mean, I'm not sure what they believe they can find here. You can see that bot wave is in a very awkward spot. Caps is going to try and push that one out. Kana, though, is becoming lethal. Look at these Jace items. This poke, we already saw it in the last Dragon fight. It's only going to get stronger from here.
Yeah, the Impaler came out of nowhere here for the 3rd item. Sorry, Sorelda's Grudge. I'm also living in the past. Remember Atma's
yes,
Impaler?
Yes, I do remember Atma's
That is not that
That's
item.
Very old school.
Yeah.
It'll be building Warmogs next if that was that.
Let's go for it. But the point is, Kana is 3 items strong, as you highlighted. Didn't even spend the time to upgrade the boots. That man is raw damage. And Broken Blade, who was once ahead of the curve, is now behind once again. G2 still up in gold, and as you said, the position of the Ocean Soul is great. But I'm kind of curious as to how these picks come through. These longer lanes, look at the vision control that's set up across the map. DK see them coming from a mile away.
Yeah, I will say that Azia and Jace just have a much easier time in these side lanes, right? Very safe in being able to push these waves out. Have plenty of tools to get away to safety. Also, Jace in a 1v1 should feel pretty confident against a lot of what G2 have drafted. He's getting very close to level 16. He pretty much has a full level over Broken Blade. And you look at the gold, like Hansama does lead, but in terms of everyone else, D+ have been able to very quickly catch up. 3rd item now being worked on by Showmaker, same for Deft. Death Cap, though, is finished for Caps, but it means it will delay his 3rd item by quite a while, because that is a very expensive 2nd item.
It is indeed, but the power with the Dark Steel stacks as well is going to be quite relevant in this next fight. Baron up in a minute 30, that's what we'll look towards. That Ocean Soul in 3. So for now, getting set up, again, continuing that vision feels like what we have to focus on. And while we are talking about items, I just kind of want to highlight, well, Def got those picks before. Not relevant, is it? No, it's not, just in case G2 decide to pull the trigger. But I will come back, Vedius, because 3 items on Draven. Hey, this guy is still big. I think Hansama can't be overlooked, even as we get to this point in the game, that Draven can still one-shot if he's set up. on some of those visible carries.
Well, against range, it's just the question of can he actually deal the damage, right? Can he get close enough to hit the targets? Because this was the biggest concern of G2's composition. You prioritize that Draven. You got to remember, Deft is a Draven player himself. He's very familiar with how to play into, or the struggles rather, of what Draven can run into. And they're looking to take advantage of that. Great range on their side. They still hold on to this mid-tier 1. And G2's aggression has been dramatically slowed down. Now only a 1K, 1.3K gold difference. Baron spawning in 25 seconds. It is G2 that initially have vision around that objective. But D+ in a much better position to contest than earlier.
Insane that that mid turret on that note is still up at 28 minutes in the game. I mean, DK holding map control still as they push out mid. In 10 seconds until we get towards the purple worm up in that top side.
Look at what they're doing now, keeping the push in mid to make it easier to control that top side river, get that vision control. The poke continues to chip away. Deft, can he land it? Not this time, but still. The pressure is on G2 now to sidestep this poke, make sure that the Baron isn't being started off, and that they can still contest this river.
DK waiting for this next one, excuse me. Feels like, again, the times might sync up, but there's the poke landing onto Mickey, who tries to get that handshake out. But now Azir, Sun Turret's out, Caps gets hit by a shock blast. The trigger tries to be pulled, Canyon just walks up, and G2 walk back. It's this to and fro here from what seemed like such a successful game that is just now constant pressure that Death alone can exert with a turret up.
Yep. D+ are using their range fantastically, and they're going to start this one off. Showmaker on the Azir will melt through this. They don't have access to the Baron right now. G2 have chosen to reset. They don't have any vision.
Yikes,
this
the
is
only
gone.
one nearby.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's gone, Betty.
It's gone.
It's just gone. It's a blind Baron. G2 had an idea, but not in the position to do anything about it. Instead, we have to put the hopes there for 25 seconds of this Dragon Soul.
So now it's a question of can G2 find a good fight against D+. The Dragon will be the next point of contention. And if it falls in favor of D+,
seesaw
they
battle.
will use their range, they will use their Baron to
Keep
begin
saying
the siege
this
against
is a
G2.
seesaw.
And we talked about how they don't have the greatest engaged tools with Renata, who
Place
ideally
vision
want to
around
control
Dragon.
space.
Place vision
find
on Baron
opportunities.
whenever they're both up.
Kellen, he should be able to spot this flank out.
Yeah, broken blade, the lens is there, and away he walks. Maybe the
Esau.
wrong target here as the Dragon now spawns. All G2 need is something to stop this Red Bull Baron power play.
But look at the levels as well. Like, you know, Yike's not even level 13 yet. He needs one more creeper. He needs a bit of experience to get that level up. Cap's a full level down against Showmaker. Broken Blade, 2 levels down, close to level 16.
True.
The flank, though, coming in from Broken Blade.
And look who's there. It's Deft by himself. Dominus now pop looking for Deft, and to stun him up, he cleanses the way, but Broken Blade has brought the Armada to him, flashes away. He might have done his job as he goes golden, but he should be dying here, but Slice and Dice, he's out of there. But hang on, he needs the reset, and he can't find it. However, now with the Dragon up and the Renata ulti out, it might be okay as G2 bring it to a 50-50 and win it out. Ocean Soul there's as Yike, some reason, flashes upwards.
Get out.
But
Nice.
G2 have a permanent buff in this game as there is also a grave labeled out for Mickey as he drops down again.
That's 3 members dead, though, and D+ have all 5 members alive with the Baron buff still for another 1 minute and 20 seconds. There's no reason why they shouldn't look to try and siege right now. Yes, G2 do get the soul. They can buy themselves a little bit more time, but I feel like
Slow
D+...
down the wave. Slow down the
I'm a little
wave.
surprised that they chose to go and catch that bot wave. I really thought they could have done some serious damage to the base of G2, but instead they're looking to catch those waves.
I don't want DK to win.
In that last fight,
I don't
Hans
want them to
Summer's
win.
ultimate went wide.
Yep.
I think he expected the flash out from Deft.
Yeah.
But look at this, great damage comes from Broken Blade initially. But look at the ultimate here from Hans. He's expecting that flash, but Deft's hold his ground. He flashes upwards while the rest of D+ come to the assistance of Broken Blade. The snipe then connects. And G2, while they do get the Drake, D+ return in kind by getting themselves 3 kills.
And now might continue on as Caps is caught out between his 2. Turret Shockwave's there, but it's Blade, there's the Magnet Storm. Chains the corruption. The Shockwave eventually comes through to correct myself as Caps flashes. No! Deft with the timing's huge. Kellen gets him out of position. I'm not sure Deft should have died, but if it comes to 1-for-1.
Impressive play there by Caps. In a 4 versus 1, he's able to trade
Caps.
Deft for his own life. It should have just been him going down there. but he makes it work somehow. Are they looking for the TP flank?
Oh,
Yes, they are.
no,
Well,
sandwich.
they can win this
You're going to get
G2.
sandwiched.
Might be able to flip things again as Yike sends out the ulti. Dominance from Broken Blade on the side. Canyon caught on the wing here. Showmaker puts up his turret, but it won't save Canyon's life. He's buying a bit of time, and Showmaker starts ordering away, but remember, they
Kill them all. What are you doing? Kill them all.
Some of the flash from Broken
Here you go.
Blade.
Kill them.
The pulverize, but Kellen can't do a thing.
Kill them
Out
all.
goes
Come on.
Showmaker. In
Fuck
goes
them up.
G2.
Yes.
And we've swung again.
Yes.
It's chaos. G2 versus D+. This is what fans have wanted for so long. It's chaotic. It's all over the place. But G2, they found their window. This time, D+ was spread apart. They had 2 members mid, 2 members bot. They tried to siege onto that bot tier 2, and Yike saw a window. He threw the ultimate down. But before he even got to that, Camps makes this miracle play happen. He lands the shockwave onto Death. The
That was
damage
a
is
nice
insane.
play by Caps, too.
He stopwatches
Very
to
nice.
buy time. Flash close, great reactions from
the
Death.
Alistar.
But then he still gets the kill.
The
Very
ball
nice.
sitting there waiting. Shutdown for shutdown as Venius. This was the aftermath.
And then Yike with the ultimate. Kellen is zoned away by the Maokai ultimate. 2 versus 4 here. At this point, you just kind of have to count your losses. Kana
Nice.
should have been pushing in mid, but he comes back because he thinks maybe with Showmaker still alive, we can turn something here. But the flash in from Broken Blade, Kellen has taken too much damage, and the fight once again goes in favor of G2.
Nice.
As Mickey has been finding some nice bindings.
Yeah.
Handshake, I think the ability is called.
Yes, it is.
And it drags you back in. And G2 will definitely take that
Very
handshake.
nice.
I mean, Mickey, again, the leader of G2. It feels like when you talk about the successes this year, this split especially, that bot lane still coming up clutch. It was another cash in, by the way. I think 600 extra gold. There's 4 items on this Draven with a stopwatch. Hun Summer, he's been getting so much money this game. And every time it looks like G2 are out or they misstep, then they come back in, and Hun Summer is the one that benefits. So now with 3K again, as this game goes on, remember the Ocean Soul in their back pocket. We also look towards the next Baron, the Elder that comes up in 2 minutes. We're going in late territory.
Here we go.
For a twisted advance. Now
Oh,
pops
it's
the ultimate.
battle.
Where's that going, bruh? Not too sure as
Gotta
G2
back,
get poked down from range,
because she's gonna
and Yike
engage.
hit me with that ulti.
They get the flash out from Kana, but it costs Mickey and Yike's
Hang
flash. Broken Blade now in danger. He's trying to escape, but I don't think he can get
But
very
he has
far.
Ocean Soul. It depends. Can anyone help him out? The biggest question there is they all come in. He's going to be going into GA, though, for the time being. G2 say, no, you're too far away. The Hun Summer ulti giving leverage, but he gets out on his own. And DK pull back for now after pulling out the GA.
Good.
Shojin working wonders there for Broken Blade, giving him so
Broken
much
Blade
mobility
needs to
on
stay
the
alive.
Chaos. It is absolutely chaos.
And
There are
Draven.
good things and there are some really bad
And
things
Caps
from
needs
both
to stay
sides.
alive.
But it is delivering in
said.
some super entertaining league. Yike will begin the Baron. G2 for the
These are
love
very
of God.
important.
Don't let this one go.
It's going to flip
Oh,
again,
no,
isn't it?
no,
Well, maybe
no.
if DK aren't there, it won't be a
Come on,
flip.
kill it,
Sneaks
clip.
on it.
Nice.
Baron's going to go down this time.
I can collapse
no
on
harm,
them.
No foul as Caps gets poked in. Showmaker teleported in for this play.
Very
but
good.
G2 still hovering around looking for a pick themselves.
D+.
They just got to get out there. It feels there's the poke coming through. Nailed down in the corner as well. Cap zones him out. Change
Good.
corruption doesn't connect again. Yike's ulti to zone out has been fantastic.
You gotta get the fuck out,
As
dodge,
G2
man.
heading the wrong
Get
way.
out,
They're being
get out, get
corralled
out.
into the base
Reset,
of D+,
reset,
but they
reset.
have the Baron buff. They
Reset.
can get away to safety.
Gotta do Dragon now.
If we'd gone back 10 minutes, I could tell you it was
Soul.
the same goal difference. It was G2 in this position. Oh my word. Hysterics,
How's your
30
heart?
seconds until the Elder Dragon. It's going to come down to that.
Yep.
One more fight to determine the outcome of this game.
Whew. And I'm not sold either way on who wins this, Betty.
Oh, neither am I. It really could go either way.
So, let's quickly clarify. Poking
here we
out
go.
for DK, is it still as relevant with Ocean Soul?
Good.
Or are we
Almost
just
in
going to
that
have
bush,
to see
almost
them
in that
find
bush.
a beautiful pick? Maybe it'll answer for me as Canyon zones off. Broken Blade first in line, though. The charge continues on in as G2 look to make their way in with Elder now spawning.
The poke is doing what it can, but you make a great point about the Ocean Soul.
Good
The
chunking
regeneration is
Showmaker.
coming up clutch for G2. The Elder is alive. Look at that mid wave though for D+.
Yep.
Pushing into the mid. TP is not available for Showmaker or Kana, but Kana could cook. especially with the Dragon not being started yet. Showmaker trying to leverage his range. That TP flank!
Oh, it's a big one as well. That will be onto Showmaker. He's got the flash and ulti available, though, so it'll be hard to find the pick as Yike sets up with an Aegis grab, sets him into position. Broken Blade runs in with the Magnet Storm, zones him out.
They got
Kellen looks
this.
for a
They
flank
got
angle,
this.
and Canyon flashes out. Now, G2 have separated DK away from this Elder Dragon.
Hana.
E+ is very scattered right
Hana.
now. Canyon has no flash available to him. But again, they're still very hesitant to start
Very
this Elder
scary.
off.
Mickey wants the handshake
Oh.
behind. There's Caps on top as well. Kellen gets poked out.
But that should be the go signal to at the very least start a fight. Kellen losing all of his HP. Didn't use the ultimate yet. Mickey.
That's a big ulti as well. They've got to get away from it. Canyon the only one hit and enough space is drawn.
Here we go. It's being started.
But as you said, Kellen's still too low. The handshake zoning out, the poke coming through. G2 aren't letting them walk in, but Kana has an influence from the top side.
Look at the lifesteal from Hansama, though.
They caught Alistar.
Walking into danger, though.
Nice.
Catches in. Kellen is meek to the
Yes.
slaughter again as that whirling
Yes.
hurts. And thank
That's
you,
it.
says G2,
GG.
for giving us the Elder Dragon.
They weather the
GG.
storm from D+.
No, that's GG.
They're able to mitigate the poke. Kellen
Nope.
with his low HP still tries to
They're
find
strong
a flank.
now. Really strong.
He gives up his life. And Hansama now leading the charge. Elder Dragon
They're gonna kill
G2,
them.
Baron buffed up. 5 more seconds.
They can't
Will
touch
they
them
finally
anymore.
break into the base?
Well, anyone's guess here as the Baron, the Red Bull Baron power plays 4,500 with
they're
G2
too strong
almost
right
moving
now.
to 10,000 themselves. There goes the inhibitor. G2 thinking about the push and using that Elder timer, but they pull off for now. The game will go a little bit longer to see if they can get a more solid fight.
Whew. Wow.
What up here?
The crazy
They
thing
gotta
is,
get something, man.
I still see a way in which D+ can turn this around. This game is far from
Yeah.
over. Obviously, G2 in a much more commanding position with the Elder, with the gold lead that they have. And a big...
Ooh. Almost.
I was
Waiting for
going to
that
say,
damage.
a big shout out to Caps. He's the only player that this game that didn't receive any support. No roams into the mid lane from either support or jungle. He's kind of been roaming himself, looking for opportunities. When he was getting collapsed on bot, he was still able to turn
My
into
God,
1-for-1.
Draven
And in
is
team
so
fights, he's been
fed
so
right
patient
now,
as
bro.
well, making sure that he's in the right position to land those crucial ultimates.
He's too fed.
He's really stepping up here in game 1. But let's see if G2 can finally close this out, because Hysterics, until the Nexus falls, I won't believe that
It ain't
G2
over.
have won.
Yeah, we ain't cursing it again, that's for sure. On your note about Caps, by the way, I mean, the reason that they got Elder was Caps, you know, onto Kellen, that poke damage that came through. So significant. And coming in clutch, I've always wanted to cast Claps. I'm glad it's not the other one. You know, I know there's been some confusion through the year. As,
God damn the damage.
Ladies and gentlemen, bit of AP coming through
Oh
from
my
Yike.
That is
God.
a flat 50%.
That's been
Oh
50
my
for 10
God.
years. Stop it! How much longer must he suffer? Well, Yike makes sure it's a little bit longer to send him to the base as G2 off that say there's a free rotation to the top side.
20 seconds till the Elder disappears. Then the Baron is alive in a minute's time.
The third
What can
Baron.
G2, the third Baron.
Or is it
fourth?
the fourth?
It's the fourth Baron.
I can't count. But with the last pick of the Elder, once more, Yike sends out Nature. The Ents of the Forest don't find their mark, but at least it zones out for a second inhibitor, so the base is in complete tatters by DK.
I am very jet lagged. And this game is only making me more tired, Hysterics.
Oh, really?
At first I thought the
it
first
frees you
Baron
up.
play was just me delusional, you know.
Oh, yeah. What am I seeing?
But now I am very much awake.
So
I don't
many
know
wars
if I trust
there.
the 4. You said there's been 4.
There is.
Are you sure? Or am I the one who's delusional?
I'm delusional.
I don't know.
There was the one that got stolen.
Yep.
Then D+ took one for free.
Oh, yep.
Then G2 got one for free.
And,
Now this is the fourth one.
You're right. Wow. I'm being outclassed by someone with jet lag. And I came from Australia. It's like 2 hours away. Over the wall, Mickey might be caught out. Hang on a minute, this Renata separated, but it might be okay. Magnet Storm out, but that Renata ulti is insane. Running forward is Broken Blade to zone out as DK is still looking for that clutch factor, but Hansama
Kill the cow.
won't let
Kill the
Kellen
cow.
anywhere near. Go
The
back
cow's
to the
dead.
farm. G2 zoning
Kill them
out
all now.
continuously, and they might
Dead, they
have
got
it.
it.
They
GG.
might just with the shockwave, bringing back the playmaker. Hansama getting all the money,
Let's go.
but Caps is getting my heart.
MVP Mickey. He sees the angle, the choke point. Broken Blade looks into the eyes of the reigning world champion. and says, today is not your day.
Yeah, that's GG.
He'll force him into the
Good game.
GA, and they're looking for the Nexus.
Oh man, this is so disrespectful.
Holds on to their namesake. It was back and forth. It was a little
Oh,
bit
kill the
messy,
Renel.
but hey,
Kill the Rel.
G2, they're versatile, they're volatile, and they're starting 1-0 in the Swiss stage.
Wow.
Against the LCK4.
Very good.
What a crazy game.
Yes.
It was so dominant for G2 in the early game. Hans Sommer's Draven was terrifying. But the moment, well, we saw two examples. Canyon's great engage around that second dragon, into then the Baron steal that came out as well. What an insane back and forth.
Very
what
nice.
a crazy debut for your first Worlds cast.
Hey, absolute banger as well. G2 deserve this bow. As all you can say is, EU had high expectations, and Vetis, I'm glad they're hitting it.
Wow, man.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that was a
we're going to
crazy
send it back
fucking
over to
game.
the desk to break down G2 versus D+.
Thank you so much. My nerves aren't shot at all. I never doubted them.
Not one
not
moment.
once, not one moment.
What a game. Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Crazy. I mean, you don't even really have like a stake in it, right? Because it wasn't an LCS team, so I think you would be an honest judge of how exciting that game was.
I really wanted the D+ and G2 rivalry to be alive and well, and it is.
It is.
You know?
6-5 all time now.
Back and forth so much. The Dragons end up making a really big difference with the Ocean Soul healing coming in clutch. Man, Kellen had a rough game, though, from D+ for sure.
I think G2 should actually be very happy about this, because in this volatile best-of-1 Swiss format, to have a Baron throw happen and still win is very confidence-inspiring. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, let's look at the Baron throw, actually, now that we're mentioning it.
Yeah, because that one really threw me for a loop.
Yeah,
I don't
this
think this
one-
game should have lasted as long as it did, because I think that the D+ in the early game were unable to match anything, and then you flip against Rel, who, of all junglers, like not even going by the fact that it's Canyon, right, that you're playing against, Rel is so insanely good at stealing objectives, and clumping up in the pit behind the Baron, of all parts, right? Oh, the Baron is just shredding you with the spikes.
Just why?
So
Why?
I think that made the series a lot longer. But for me, right, as an LCK representative, 10 minutes in,
it just felt like one of the bad
felt
DK
like,
games.
Yeah, it felt like the DK
G2 were stopping.
No, DK,
Yeah.
DK was just all around worse. The fact that they were kept in the game by, I think, G2 with one bad call doesn't take away from the fact that for DK fans, I think they were looking and hoping that the regional qualifier form would be maintained. In the case of at least
Very nice
Kellen, and I'd
game.
argue some
Very
of
nice.
the drafting woes that they've had throughout the year, those issues still very much there.
Well, thankfully, G2 are entertainers at heart, and so they do throw at the
That's
Baron.
why.
They do make it a banger.
You know, they have this, they say it's for the content. You
Yeah.
know, they need
Yeah.
every Worlds, they
Yeah.
need like a wombo combo where they just get completely rolled over. But
I will say one huge thing is that we have heard so much about, you know, the Draven getting all these bans and how crazy it is in scrims. That thing was terrifying. So for G2 to do that in game number 1, you can have long-lasting effects on the pick ban for the rest of the tournament as well.
And it also crowned Hans Sama as our Oppo player of the game. And Jada was, as Kobe says, you know, you see why it gets banned so often, and it's such a classic for Hans Sama, and I'll be really happy with his return to Worlds on that champ.
And a really impressive first blood here, knowing he's hit 6. Kellen hasn't yet. Basically instantly executing him while he's at 75% health, and it just felt like he wasn't really dropping any axes the entire game, no matter what they were doing. So amazing performance by Hans Sama Draven here.
Yeah, wonderful. You know, there were some question marks. Sorry, I had something in my ear. Some question marks about him coming back, of course, and I think a lot of people have said, well, it didn't really mean anything that he couldn't do what he wanted to do in NA. There were a lot of reasons for that, but he really wanted to show that he could do it on
I mean, the big thing for me as well is that obviously afterwards the team was playing around him as they should, but the big thing for me is that that was already starting level 1, they abused the fact Alistar obviously level 1 non-existent. They went completely all in on Hans actually being able to deliver on the champion. And then when he got the solo, without any jungle attention, anyone else helping him, you already secured the first big cash-in, right? So even if he did end up, if you end up going down, which did end up happening in the Dragon fight where Canyon and Showmaker had a great engage, it doesn't end up mattering nearly as much. And you can see as well that once you get that first cash-in, you feel so much more secure on the Draven. And the Dragons were another big thing that we were just, the three of us were just looking at, because look at the, does it feel like D+ did that amount of damage at any point?
This is the sneaky Ocean Soul advantage.
Yeah.
I don't think it was sneaky.
The poke didn't do anything because of the Ocean Soul. That was so clutch about this game, actually. When G2 did get the Baron stolen, they continued to keep their priority up on the Dragons to get the Ocean Soul, and it was maybe the difference in the game.
Yeah, and I want to circle back as we close out the segment, Jat, to what you said. You know, you said at the beginning of the segment, if G2 wants to call themselves or wants to hold themselves to a high standard in this World Championship, this is a team they have to beat. And it is good that they didn't let that setback completely derail their game.
Absolutely. They crushed this early game. And then they also got to challenge their late game, too. It's like 2 wins in 1, because they won the early game and the late game.
I'm just happy that they got a win, okay? It was not stressful at all.
Never doubted.
Never doubted them, not one second. You weren't in the green room with me. In any case, we will talk to Hansama, and that will come right after the break, so we'll be right back.
Knew their power. Boom.
Ja, I see us hitting us hard, so back up, back up. Guys, I can flash, look! Okay, yeah, stop watch. Just get front, Guys, yes. Yeah.
Nice. Hey guys, good job,
nice
good job.
Guys,
Good luck, guys. Hold on. Well played, well played. Nice pivot.
Weeble Gaming? Oh my god. Energy. I'm gonna go to bed.